Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for being here this morning.
Let's go. Oh, let's start this show. King Roman News gonna come right through, gonna give you that news just like you know he can do. Hot topics in your face, baby. King Roman knows his place, baby. King Roman News.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
6:30 a.m. Eastern time, baby. He's gonna come right on time with the news just for you. Celebrity news, politics, and local news just for you. King Roman News. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Let's go. Hey, let's start this show. King Roman News, coming just for you. King Roman News, coming just for you. 6:30 a.m. Eastern time, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. King Roman News, King Roman News. Let's go. Let's start this show. Let's go. Oh, let's start this show.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm back here talking to myself. I'm like, damn, I didn't even start the stream. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Thank you for being here. The time is 6:48 a.m. June 15th. It is Wednesday. It is our local news report today. And before I begin on that, I just want to say thank you and shout out to the news crew, to the night crew, all of you all. Thank you so much for being so great. Such wonderful hosts. To our guest, Tayshawn. He came on Tuesday, impromptu, just popped up. We had a live, and you all definitely showed up and showed out. And he was very much so appreciative, gracious. He wants to do a part 2. So I'm down. We're gonna get something out of that. We're gonna do something. I think we're gonna have this prison conversation because I'm very intrigued by that. But shout out to Tayshawn. Thank you so much. And again, I definitely think you have something you might want to explore, YouTube as another option or another platform. Secondly, I want to shout out, and I'm not going to say who you are, but you know who you are. So shout out to, somebody who is a huge supporter of our channel, our energy, what we do over here. Shout out to you. He purchased the domain kingromannews.com for us, and so now we have to figure out what to do with this. So I was thinking about having a landing page. I don't know what to put on the landing page, so I didn't know if I wanted to do a store. I didn't know if I wanted to do something. I don't know, but we have this opportunity. So shout out to you. Thank you so much. I'm so appreciative of that opportunity. You don't know, that just put like a whole lot of pressure on me. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure you know how much I appreciate that, and everything you say and do, and all the advice you give me, and direction, and all those good things. So thank you so much. Now let's get into who all is in the room. I'm so sorry, y'all. Shay in Colorado. Good morning. It's 4 a.m. here. 30 minutes too early. I'll be back later in the skybox. Thank you, Shay. I appreciate you so much. And good morning to you. Ambrosia, good morning. I always say no one cares, but good morning to you. Good morning. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much in your kind words. Thank you so much. Don't know what it means to me. Hot spicy tea. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, please hit that like button on your way into the building. Thank you so much. Hey Brick Girl, good morning. Hey Boo, good morning, good morning, good morning. Naries, good morning. Peace, love, good morning. Hey, good morning, B1. We got some shit to get through today, okay? I mean, we got this whole off-duty police officer go on a whole highway rant, gets out the car and throws a blade. We gotta get into this shit, okay? Scrolling and trolling. Good morning to you. Good morning. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thanks. I want to hear that prison story. Yes, we're gonna have to get him on a little late night to brother man be working too. We literally was setting up the meeting for him to come. I was falling asleep. I would send him a message. He wouldn't reply because he was probably asleep. And then he would send me a message like 3, and then I would wake up like 4 and send him a message. And so it was like nothing going back and forth, but he is so dope. He was mad cool. And I didn't know he was 22. I said, oh, okay, all right, we need to pump some of the young girls over here, like get them up over here. So I'm looking forward to whatever he is doing in the future. Nate, good morning to you. Good morning, AJ. Good morning. Good morning. All right. All right. No time to waste. We have about 16. We have 16 stories to get through, and I am determined to figure out how I can do all of this stuff within a good amount of time without having to be like 3 hours. So we're gonna get right into it. Let me go on and switch up. Bam. We are into local news. Let's do it. All right, so the first thing I want to get into is because I could be a little lush, and is that Jack Daniels and Coke are now merging for these drinks. Now we know, you drink this in the bar, you might order, let me get, Henny and Coke. Well, for me, it's Henny and Coke. But for them to be bottling this up and actually selling it in the store, I said, oh, this is interesting. They're putting forth an effort towards this. Now, what they're saying is that don't expect this to be anywhere in the market anytime soon. It will be available in markets around the world with an initial launch plan for Mexico in late 2022 and a US launch in 2023. So if you are planning any travels to Mexico, you might be able to see some of this later in the year. And if you do, go ahead and put up a little video, let us know how it tastes, how it goes. But I think this is going to be a hit. Now, all the beverage industries have been looking to break into the alcohol market as well as the coffee market. You'll notice Pepsi tried to do something with coffee, and Coke tried to, and I think they still have that Coke coffee, and it's just disgusting. But this might be a lick for both Jack Daniels and Coke. So I wanted to talk about that. Going to get you, going to get it when it comes, going to get you a little case. Next, Brittany Griner. Now, this is not shocking to me, but I know I posted it, and a few people were like, "What?" Well, they first extended it. She got her first extension back in February. So this was nothing. At that time, we learned that the courts in Russia will offer the folks who are investigating this back home, they'll give them up to 6 months of an extension. So we're still well within that extension period. So they extended it for another 18 days, meaning that she won't see any type of court or anything until after July 2nd. And a lot of people are saying that this is a political leverage. Definitely, Russia is using this definitely as some leverage in what's going on in Ukraine. And I said, I knew that. The minute y'all started talking about this shit, because they see how popular it's affecting us. So like, I wasn't, baffled. My thing was this. Bitch, give them the whole fucking 6-month extension up front. In February, they should have gotten a whole 6-month extension. Let's not play this game, because I guarantee you after July 2nd, it's going to be another, oh, we need another 4 days. We need another. Stop fucking playing these games. You know what I'm saying? It's games. Now she's been detained for about 118 days so far. And I gotta admit, to be detained for any period of time is definitely crazy. But 118 days, that's more than 3 fucking months. This was back in February. And so the US government said they are definitely working closely with her as well as her wife, that she's received a lot of support from the WNBA during her detention. And it's and also all of them kicking off their 2022 season honoring her has definitely made her feel some console. She said those small moments I know give her some type of hope. And so we're gonna still sit here and we're gonna watch this story develop. But you know, I want you all to know that she's definitely going to be in for the long haul. I don't see, you know, what's 6 months, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Definitely until August. So it'll be July 2nd. They'll ask for another 8 days or so until August, and then we'll probably see some traction on this. Now remember, this carries a sentence of up to 10 years in prison, because they're charging her with large-scale transportation of drugs simply because they found a vape cartridge in her luggage that contained hashish oil, which is an illegal substance in Russia. So yeah, we'll stay tuned to this story, but all of our support here over here at the channel and all of our prayers will be with Brittany Griner. Now, let's see if you all had anything to say about that. Hey, Queen Diva. Hey, Voodoo. Good morning. Good morning. That took 50 years. Okay. Okay. My go-to is Henny and a Red Bull. Oh, a Henny and a Red Bull. Oh, I know you be up and down. It's cheaper to buy Coke and the liquor separate. Also, water is expensive in Mexico. Stupid and not environmental friendly. She is a political prisoner. Absolutely. 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 I agree. Hey, Jay Parrish. Y'all always have a wonderful day on purpose. Good morning, Cash Apps and bullshit. Brittany being a political prisoner makes me a Jewish billionaire Hollywood producer. The real victims are Navalny and the Russians who want a democratic government. Good morning, Kings Mina and chat. Listening on my way to see D White Man for 8 hours. Okay, I love the name, the White Man. I'm over here thinking it's a real person, D White Man. Hey, and thank you to everyone who is here. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. I appreciate it. Please hit the like button and share and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. So now let's get into this gun deal. So, you know, the Senate has struck a bipartisan deal for gun reform, and Biden says it reflects important steps in the right direction. Now, a lot of us have our different opinions about this, and I'm going to read through exactly what's in this gun passage. Now, it's more than nothing. I'll put it like that. I, however, on the other hand, feel like it's just another slap in the face, throwing a little carrot at the Democrats, and we're taking it just because we want a little something. So the legislation would include needed health mental resources, improved school safety, and support for students. 10 Republican senators have said they agreed on this legislation, and which is enough to overcome the Senate's filibuster. Should this go on, move on to the next point. And so what this includes is stricter background checks and extra scrutiny for gun buyers under 21, as well as more money for states to impose renewed red flag laws. And so, you know what red flag laws are? Those are the laws that says, you know, this person is deemed they shouldn't have a gun. And so because most police jurisdictions in these states will plead, we don't have enough manpower, we don't have enough police power to surveil whether or not they are applicable, whether they can have a gun or not, or whether we can go into these homes and do back. They don't have enough power to do that. So in this passage includes power or money for them to hire law enforcement, or include that into the budget that supports people actually going in, you know, securing weapons, taking weapons, doing background checks, doing criminal background checks. Because again, leave it up to them. They'll plead that we don't have the man. That's what every fucking police officer say. You add something new, tell them, you know, we need you all to make sure that the scooters that are all around the neighborhood, they're not blocking any buses or any lanes. Well, that's not our job. We don't have the money for that. The fuck? It's always so. It was good to hear that they're including this in the bill. So they're including the red flag laws, and so the background checks for those under 21 would examine their juvenile criminal records and health records, and the red flag laws will provide local law enforcement with the authority to temporarily remove guns from those deemed a risk to others or themselves. And now this was the other part of it that I thought was crazy that we even needed to include here. Like, talk about we're living in fucking slow times. The legislation will also aim to close the boyfriend loophole, which means those that have previously abused their romantic partners cannot buy a gun. No shit. Oh, so I mean, wow, great, wonderful. I mean, that's something that we need to now consider. So in this new bill, the most notable things are background checks included for those under 21. Okay, background checks included for those under 21 to check for any prior legal or criminal history or convictions. Remember, a key word here is under 21. Now you think about all these fucking fools in the world over 21, but we got the background checks for under 21. Okay, let's go on. Then they're going to increase security for schools. So they're going to put forth a guideline set for schools who receive federal funding that they need to have specific security personnel in place dealing specifically with gun violence. Okay, cool. That shouldn't even have to be in a fucking bill, given common sense that it should have happened already. And then lastly, well, the red flag laws, which I think is great. And then this boyfriend loophole. You know, if you have abused your romantic partner in the past, you should be denied access to purchase a gun. Okay, so you abuse your romantic partner. Okay, I get that. What about every fucking body else? So if it's deemed okay for the romantic partners, don't you think for those who use it against children too? So I was a little shaky about this. I wasn't the only one. So gun deal is less than Democrats want, but more than they expected. Now let's talk about what the Democrats actually wanted. The Democrats actually wanted was to raise the age to buy assault rifles from 18 to 21. The plan would enhance background checks on those under 21 before they could take possession of a gun. Perhaps the most significant element of this new piece of policy that's coming out. However, they'd also like to ban assault weapons and high capacity magazines, impose universal background checks. Like, why are we just doing background checks on those under 21? No, bitch, everyone needs a motherfucking background check. I got to have a credit check when I go to make purchases. I got to have a background check to get a fucking job. I got to have a background check done on me if I want to work with as a teacher. So you need to have a background check if you can potentially take the life of someone. So impose universal background checks and then take other stringent steps to limit access to guns. But because of, you know, where we are in the world, they will settle on this piece of legislation. They're fine. It's that next stepping tool to get us to the next point. And, you know, I'm okay with it, with them having that thinking, but just know I'm not fooled at all. Like, you know, I see the cover up in all of this. I see the fact that, okay, background checks for those under 21. Because that sounds politically right. It wins the favor of the crowd. And why do you think Republicans are now siding? Because it's a national tone out there. Now it's not, and I said this before, I said, y'all, this is not just a Democratic thing anymore. This is a national tone, and they're going to have pressure on it. And that pressure has now turned to the most basic ass passage. I mean, a fucking school can pass some of this shit. The stuff that they're saying they're going to do. Background checks on those under 21. Loop the fucking do. You can't even buy alcohol unless you're 21. The fuck? Like, but you can buy cigarettes. So for me, but, you know, kudos for coming together. Kudos for looking at what's going on in America and then deciding that, okay, now we need to put something forth. However, I feel like, you know, there needs to be a lot more done, especially with that assault on banned weapons. And I just saw that too. The mental health, absolutely. I agree. All of this over some oil. Unreal. It is very unreal. Some fucking oil. You said it, peace. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you kidding? At the end of the day, yeah, that will blow a whole fucking fuse. No one with mental health issues should be allowed a gun. Anyone charged with a violent crime gets a lifetime ban from guns. Anyone who sells illegal guns should be charged with the crime as well. Speak on it. Speak on it. I think you need to be down at the Capitol White House with a sign too. I was telling my friend we need to go down there. Good morning, Fates. Good morning. And thank you for being a member too. Thank you, Miss Toby, for being a member. And thank you, Hot Spicy Tea, for being a member. Thank you all for being members. I appreciate it. Karen, what's your stand on having teachers being armed in schools? Hell no, absolutely not. Are you fucking kidding me? That is not their job. That is not the job of me to teach my child that yeah, your teacher might potentially be armed. So now it's one message is outside the school, be afraid, be cautious of those who have weapons. But then you got a teacher in the classroom. Now let's say the teacher and the student get into it about something. My child may feel some kind of way knowing that this teacher has a gun in their drawer, which might limit their interaction, which might limit the way they respond to you in certain ways because you got a gun. Hell fucking no. I'm pulling my child out the next day. I need to see a background check. Child, I'm gonna need to see a background check. I need to see everything. Has they ever had any visits? No, I don't think, and I don't think that kind of responsibility should be on the teacher. To me, it's laziness. Why aren't we putting cameras in the classrooms? Why aren't we putting panic buttons in the classrooms? Why aren't we doing demonstrations to teach students what should they do if we say there's a gun scare on campus? Are they getting under their desks? Do they even know about that? Do they know to go to the farthest point in the classroom? Do we know to shut the lights off? Do we know for them when I put my hand up, that means be quiet, be silent? Do they know those things first before you talking about putting a fucking gun? I'd be damned. And maybe because I'm a little biased, I do the local news. We report on shit here. These teachers are fucking crazy. I got a story coming up today. A teacher sexting a fucking student. These teachers are not all in their right minds. I would need to know that this teacher is not only a deacon at the church, but this motherfucker damn near is giving sermons every Sunday for me to even believe that you're capable of having a gun. And then some of the students will provoke a teacher that might want to pull them. You got remember the one girl who came to the classroom with something in her book bag, and the teacher, had to send them to the principal office because to get to apprehend. So in those instances, what should are we saying now? Teachers should be able to use their weapon? Like, hell no. Y'all, now we moving too far. I'd rather have autonomous vehicles on the road, driverless cars on the road before we start. And then we got racist ass teachers. Can you fucking imagine? Oh, I was moving the gun box from one drawer to the other and it just went off. It went off on a black student in the class and they're back. Oh, okay. No. Hell no. You got to be shitting me. I'd be the first one sitting there like, no, I don't think that's the right plan to do. What are we telling students now? So as they grow up, they're going to realize, oh, in order to be a teacher, you also got to have a gun because that's what we're doing. No, I'm just not over it. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. Maybe at military school, but no. Busy Blue. Good morning. I'm gonna have to link up. Me and Busy gonna have to link up and do something. Chit chat, kick the breeze, do some talking. Y'all definitely check out Busy Blue. I was over in his bushes the other day, just listening to him spazzing. It was just going off. Busy. Why are civilians using assault rifles? I understand it's in the Constitution, but why does the white suburban kids need such a weapon? And who thinks it's okay to just say, yeah, go take the rifle? Bitch, what? Go take the rifle? Like I said in that other story about that one kid who went to the door with the whiplash. I don't give a fuck if he was 5 or 6. You now need to be made an example of because our kids are made an example of. And I feel like these kids with these assault rifles, they need to be made examples of. Like, okay, so your child needs to go to fucking jail, and so does you. Because that's a direct child negligent, child endangerment. And let's think about if the child did do something to someone, what that would do. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Good morning, Joyce. Good morning. Right, Faith. No. On this gun issue, the government is just playing in our faces. This is why you need to remove the money from private corporations. All of these senators are paid for. Come on, Nate. You in here preaching this morning. You don't think the NRA is in all of those 10 Republican pockets? Like, all right. Y'all can do just this much, but we don't want that ban on assault rifles. We don't want that universal background check. And we damn sure don't want y'all raising the age limit to purchase guns. So here's what y'all can do, but stay away from that. You don't think they're doing that? Hell motherfucking yeah. And they're getting paid top dollar by NRA to toe the motherfucking line. Think they're not? Oh yeah, absolutely. And so then people look at me and say, why aren't you as mad at Black Lives Matter because of how ineffective they are? Because I'm looking at NRA do the same fucking thing and watching them get away with it. I wish the Black Lives Matter was empowered on the level that NRA is empowered on. I wish they had a product that they could just throw around and throw money behind these politicians to move how they want to move. That's what these businesses, that's what these corporations, these larger nonprofit activist agencies, these lobbyists, undercover lobbyist organizations, that's what they do. I love for them to be empowered like that, you know. Unfortunately, they're not, and NRA is, and so folks are scared of that NRA dollar. It's deep. It goes into police districts. I mean, CIA. You got the FBI. NRA dollar goes fucking long. You know, they have the ability to really do some dirty things to people. Yes, Miss Toby. No, I don't. Absolutely right, wrong. What the hell? In '88 in Boston, we had metal detectors in my middle school already. So what is it? Yeah, we had metal detectors. You literally had to walk through metal detectors. And at the time when I was in school, and it was like 2003, 2004, I even then was like, what kind of bullshit is this? I'm in middle school walking through a metal detector, and the school name happened to be Frederick Douglass. Like all the schools, Frederick Douglass, which was called Dirty Doug because it was known for all of its fights, led by my cousin. Sorry, cuz, my bad, but she was definitely doing a lot. But they had metal detectors and they had the wands, the airport wands. Oh baby, they little little Lisa. I think her name was Lisa Perez or Lucy, but she used to wand us down. Come here, sweetie. Come here. You next. And she was wand us down, walk right through. That level of security was like for at that time was enough for me. I can imagine now, like they're being so lax in these suburban schools. Hey, Shantae, good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. I grew with trench coat mafia story. I remember schools installing metal detectors on every door. You saw security like the school was under lockdown, like war ready. I mean, at this point, you selling gun kits. I mean, these gun kits is what killed me. These ghost gun kits. When I realized that they could really be assembled in parts to resemble a real gun, I knew we had a fucking problem on our hands. Like I was just thinking that they were regular guns. No, these kids are really obtaining these gun parts from these companies who are getting away with not having to report them as actual physical guns. Y'all crazy. Automatic weapons have no place in the private sector. I believe the government is playing us against us with these weapons. There's a point to be said that they put them in the hands of the people they want to cause the most destruction. There's something to be said about that. Teachers with guns is a huge no. They're already having problems controlling themselves. Baby, I went to Freddie. Yes, I went to Freddie. Baby. Yes, I was one of them North Star stepper on the Frederick Douglass step team. Then I got up out of that as quick as possible and went over to Wilson. East had detectors, wands, and pat downs. At one point, we could have only clear backpacks. Now, East. Okay, you went to East? Oh my God. You was right in the area. You was in the neighborhood. Oh my God, you went to East. Yeah, East was known. Okay, you was right down the street, East. And I thought Edison Tech 2 was crazy as well. Which else? Oh no. Was it Marshall? John Marshall? That was the one I heard that was the worst. Gun laws can be changed. The people need to want the change the way they went after the tobacco. Period. Look how that fell apart once cancer cost more than tobacco lobbyists. You absolutely have a point there. That's actually a huge point. Yes, we have security guards at every entrance too. Shout out to Martin Luther King Middle School. Okay. I figured that. Oh, you was a stepper. Yeah, we gotta have a conversation. So I'm gonna hit you up this week. I'm gonna hit you up. So that was our gun talk. Don't be fooled. Be a little tickled by what's going on, but don't be fooled. Still be armed with information that y'all letting them push the buck, but it ain't shit. It ain't moving shit. All right, now let's get into this topic session of the news. Airbnb. So there's been some things happening around Airbnb. I know that there's this video going around. We're going to talk about it because, I got my own take on this. I'm looking at it like, okay. So the first Airbnb story I want to talk about is Airbnb says police investigated after Philadelphia renter claimed property had multiple hidden cameras. Now, when y'all see these hidden cameras, y'all going to be like, damn, Sway, I didn't know they do it like this. And this is the only reason I'm bringing it up, because if you all are starting this summer travel season and you're using Airbnb, look at what this motherfucking folks did to their unit. I'm like, damn, that's the y'all G'd it up. So let me share this video. They G'd it up for real, for real. I said, girl, you didn't walk out and sue? She was like what? Um all right. I hear the police sirens. Welcome to downtown. So here's the actual device playing. You see him on the water? You see that sprinkler up there on the wall? Oh, it's not playing. That's a camera. And so the cameras look like this right here. If you all can see in this picture right here, they look like little sprinklers, but they're actual rotatable camera balls that they had all installed all over this house. And the woman sent her video footage to police and called the police to see what they were going to do about it, but they didn't do anything about it.
Me and my best friend recently stayed at an Airbnb in Philadelphia, and we found hidden cameras. Everyone keeps asking the same questions. How did we discover these hidden cameras in our Airbnb? This video is at our arrival at about 7:30 p.m. And, I just took a regular video and I captured the camera in this video and I didn't even notice. The camera is right above the couch on the ceiling. Me and her, we got there pretty late. So, we just saw it was nice. It was clean. We got dressed, did our makeup, and we went out. And when we came back in, we actually fell asleep on the couch. So when we woke up in the morning and looked up, we discovered that this was a camera. It was very creepy. We were absolutely creeped out when we saw this. It
Get the fuck out of here, y'all.
But I don't know. That just looks weird. It's just a hole in the ceiling with a camera. So I don't know how anyone in the past didn't notice this camera, but we did. So we were creeped out and we decided to look everywhere in the Airbnb, like all over the ceiling, and see if there's any more cameras. We discovered that the sprinklers had camera lens. We got on the chair, on stools, and we did a flash test on these sprinklers, and they are cameras. And it is plain as sight. Those are camera lens in the sprinklers. I looked it up. I did research on Google, and I found that they have security cameras disguised as sprinklers. So it is a thing. It's very creepy. They had cameras in the bathroom and our bedroom and everything. This is at the arrival as well. I was just taking, videos, just showing it off. And I didn't even realize
that shit is crazy, y'all.
All of my evidence, I should have took more once we discovered that it was actually cameras. But we were so creeped out, we just packed our shit and left, honestly. That is the bathroom, and it is pointed to the shower if you just saw the video. And this one I actually captured, they get the perfect.
That is fucking creepy as hell. So now you all know exactly what they look like. And yes, you can have sprinkler hidden cameras. So every fucking where you go. Now, just not just the Airbnb, but where you at places, make sure you looking around up like, bitch, I already know you hip to it. You are now hip to that is a thing. It is a thing. I was shocked that somebody will go to that fucking level to, like, if you at that point where you just want to protect your stuff, you don't need to be in the Airbnb game, bro. Like, for real, for real. Okay, what the hell? Exactly. That's exactly why people don't trust these Airbnbs. Me either, to be honest with you. That's just wrong. In the bathroom. Exactly. Invasion of privacy. So the girl called the police, and the police told them basically, we're not doing nothing about it. You got to take that up with Airbnb. They can, because the police is under all the auspices, these folks can have cameras in their place. Now, if you rent the place from them and that's an issue between you and Airbnb, I say, oh, hell no. It will be Rome B&B. Are you kidding me? I did not take advantage of your service to feel like I was going to be exploited. I feel some emotional distress. I can't go to work because I'm looking around the side like something is going. Oh, no. The owner should have made the people aware that the premises was set up for only for OnlyFans. There must be a way to sue. It has to be. Why not disclose there are cameras? It is a violation of privacy if these cameras are in the washrooms, bathrooms, and bedrooms. Lawsuit. They're going to own that bitch. They really do. It's giving perverse universe. So she said that she tried to get the police involved, but there's been no recourse. They haven't done anything to their we also tried calling the Philly police to have them on the scene, examine the cameras, and make a police report. They did not answer. Sadly, we had to go down to the police station. This is so unsafe and scary. Thank God we noticed the cameras and got out of there. So I'm glad they got out of there. And that was definitely disgusting. What if she travels with children like my daughter does with her son's basketball team? We would sue. Absolutely be all over Airbnb's ass to file a claim, because I don't know if Airbnb protects them from stuff like this. So now let's get into this other Airbnb story. Now, there was this story. This woman leased a room on Airbnb and the tenant refused to leave the house. And so it was interesting because, I didn't even know that a person could squat like this, right? So before I play this video, news crew, put your hats on, put your deep detailed hats on. Look at the video for everything, for acting, possibly for lack of, bitch, you need to get the fuck up out my house or I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. And also look for lack of trying to do everything in your possible nature. So I'm gonna play this video because I was sitting there thinking like, ain't no fucking way. It's not even humanly possible for someone to squat in my house like that. Like how? How you think I'm supposed to just go run into my room? Oh, we're fighting the whole fucking way. You're gonna have to file a police report on me, bitch. I'm gonna beat your. We gonna have to do something. So check this out. No, now you want to load. Okay.
Yeah. Don't trust my Airbnbs. Okay, so I can't even talk right now. I'm so pissed off. I didn't even know this shit could happen, but this shit is real and shit's really going on. Goddamn, I caught myself trying to find a way to goddamn pay off my mortgage a little better, a little quicker, or whatever. So I put this ad out or whatever, saying I was looking for someone to sublease one of the rooms in my house or whatever. It was gonna be supposed to be like this real smooth transaction or whatever. I went on vacation or whatever. The person was supposed to be gone 3 days prior to my return. So I'm talking to my housekeeper or whatever, XYZ. She's like, yo, that person is still here in your house. What do you mean they're still in my house? It's supposed to be gone. So when I get back and touch down in the city, this is still here in my house, okay? Refusing to leave. So I didn't know what to do. I'm used to this shit. So I go down and I do there you go, y'all. Straight to the
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
On top of her ass just intruded into my home. She disrespected. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I've been trying to do it the right way. I done went down there and got the all the paperwork that I need to do to get her ass evicted out my house, whatever. But that shit is a process. I have to go through protocols, all the other stupid blah bull. And then I just the police just left my house, and I'm like, get this out my house, and I'm like, oh, she's a tenant now. She's a tenant. You and the police, okay? My door. That's all I know. Your door. This is my house. How about you get the out of my house? How about that's what you do? How about you get the out of my house? How about you get the out of my house? How about you get...
Where somebody point me in the direction of where they do that kind of shit at. So I call bullshit on this. I call foul on the play. I call another person trying to go viral. I noticed it really didn't make traction online. I pulled it from Reddit. I'm sitting here thinking like, are you kidding me? Are you nuts? Now she gave at the start of the video A&M. You know, she gave me that blah blah blah. Same with Bad Boys LA. You know, bitches give you that blah blah blah. And this is what happens to you in life. No. And then you slam the door on me. I broke that motherfucking door down. This is my house. Door is gone, bitch. You gonna get the fuck out of snatched that. I would have been at a certain point, I would have turned violent because it's almost like someone is taking ownership of your shit unwillingly and, you know, without you even giving them that. I would have definitely, are you kidding me? You squatting in my shit and you got nerve enough to walk past like this your shit after your Airbnb dates is up. Where is that permissible? And then so she's saying that because she stayed longer than what she did over a 2-week period, more than 2 weeks in a 6-month period, that she's considered a squatter now. So I was looking up certain laws and shit to see if this is true and applicable. And they have this thing called squatter rights. If you live somewhere for longer than a period, you can technically claim that you are a tenant and they can't put you out without going to court. But it varies state by state when tenant rights kick in. Basically, they're saying that if a tenant is occupying a rental for more than 2 weeks in a 6-month period, they have what they're called tenant rights. And Airbnb would then have to go down to the court to evict them. And I said, where they do that shit at? I didn't even know that was permissible. People were saying that just change the locks and let her prove she lives there. Or if you live here, where's your key? Do you have a lease? Yes, you were at my house through Airbnb, but that was last week. You can't just come back whenever you please. Some people are saying just put a brick wall in front of her door. People were saying remove all toilets and pool ladders. Put a new lock on the bathroom door and any door she used in the house. Play loud music at 3 a.m. right outside her door. Just start making noise throughout the night, just enough to wake her up every single hour. Shut the water and lights off and wait her out. Get your family, friends, and other people you can trust not to rat in a new lock kit. Then remove her kicking and screaming if you have to. I doubt she'll take it to court. It was something that I couldn't believe. Like I was like, no, really? Is this what we doing? Need to call Pookie and them on his ass. Oh, you getting out of my? You getting the fucking today, honey, today. You can go through the door or the window, but you getting the fuck up out of here. Is this? That's what I said, Miss Toby. I said, where is this plausible? We wouldn't even. All you would have told me was, I'm not leaving. I would have left my place, and all you just saw was masked men entering. Honey, you gonna get out of there one way or another, bitch. I'm gonna go get some motherfuckers. Y'all want to make a quick buck? I need y'all to put these ski masks on and go into my place. Now, there's currently someone in there. Get that bitch out. She needs to be out. There's a bonus on the other end. No, I don't want her harmed. I just want her out. That bitch out. You getting the fuck up out of here legally or illegally, bitch. You leaving. You're not staying here. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Why she ain't called the police? Y'all squatters, renter laws are a joke in America. How the fuck is she able to stay? Doors is coming off. I'm snapped. As soon as she'd have closed it, I'd have bust that bitch open. Are you nuts? I hope it would have knocked her ass over. I'd have tried to do it just quick enough to knock her ass. All you got to do is get her ass down. Let me shut up. There, I'm going to turn it violent. All you got to do is get that ass down on the ground and then just start rolling bitches. Just, why don't I believe this? That's probably her cousin that she let come and stay with her. Nate, you and I are both on the same page. We don't believe it because how dare some shit like that actually happen? Like, because we know that nothing like that will actually happen to us. Oh my, kick the door in. This is actually very common. This is crazy. Are you ready? 115. And good morning to you. This story makes no sense. I can't stay in the ghetto. In my last Airbnb a week ago, the owner was going through the same thing. Her and the squatter fought, and the cops still couldn't put her out. Wow. Child Pookie, and then we'll be at my house after get the bitch out. And I'll be in the shower. There she in that room to the left. All right, I'm about to go take a shower. Y'all let me know when it's done. That is crazy. Ida channeled the Notorious B.I.G. kick in the doorway in the 44. A play to keep people and money in the courts. I can see that. Good morning, Doreen. Good morning. It's good to see you. Good morning, Doreen. I remember when you used to be coming around. Doreen is blessed. Good morning. It's so good to see you. I would have taken my automatic weapons and went off on that ass. Period. Now, the assault rifles come into play. No, I'd have just started putting shit in her food. It'd have been all kind of shit going on. She wouldn't have been able to run no water. I would have made sure that it was no handles on no faucet in the sink. She'd have been in there trying to cut the water on. It ain't working. Bitch, go outside. Go get somewhere. It's a hose in the backyard, ho. Soon as she go outside that door, I'm locking that bitch. Locks would have been off. I'd have been the nastiest person. I would have threw bleach on her door. It would have been all kind of, that hoe would have been out of there. I would have been jarring mosquitoes and setting them bitches off in her room. That hoe would have been living in hell. I'd have had Eli shitting in bags, throwing them in her room. Are you throwing them? It's my house, bitch. Live with it. What you want to do? And I want them in that room specifically. Don't put them in no other room. You lucky I'm not opening the bags up, ho. Oh, we would have got your ass up out of there. There was a man that was able to buy a house for $1 on squatters' rights alone. So people can become squatters in a hotel because I'm about that life. Most Airbnbs do not allow stay over a few days, especially local. Now, I know international, you can do what they call experience travels. And even locally, you can do experience travels because I know we was looking up an experience in Houston. And it was like a package of the hotel, the stay, and a guided tour. Like they would take you around the area. We actually did one of those in Barbados. I always get Barbados and Jamaica confused, but Barbados, we did it there. And it was like 7 days. But they lived in the house though. So it wasn't like I was alone. It was like they were in their own house as well. So yes, thank you for the support. Yikes. Use Guantanamo Bay sleep deprivation tactics until she gives in. King, you about to catch a murder for hire charge. Okay, listen, I told them, I specifically said don't harm or hurt her. Now and I would be in the courts. We play this all the time. Typically I would leave my house. I would let them go in the house with masks on. You know, this is something we do. Now, she just happened to be here when it happened. That's not my fault. She didn't know the culture of my house. You know, this is how we get down over here. So, that's her bad. I've been trying to plead, period. Bonus on the other end. Get that hoe out, period. Okay, listen. I would have set off roach bombs every hour. And it's illegal if she started getting mail there. And it's legal if she started. You know what? That's bold. A bitch start getting mail at your house. I'm cutting that shit. The minute you start doing that, I'm cutting your mail all up. Bitch, you don't live here. Oh my God. People are bold. Daddy, what the fuck is wrong with you? Fart spray at her door every 5 minutes. Okay. She said, bitch, this is our house. All utilities would have been this. Do you imagine the shit you got to go through to like get your own place? Like that is crazy. Now you ain't got no hot water. You got to go outside. Cause you trying to get this bitch out. No, she would have been. I'd have took the windows off her room. First of all, bitch, you gonna sleep with wind and rain, honey. You want to live here so bad? Get in the elements, bitch. She'd have had no windows on her. Now go claim to the landlord. I am the landlord, bitch, and I like this room with no windows on it. I want a breeze, ho. No windows. I would have took the light bulbs out of disconnected the lights in her room. No, bitch, we don't have no electricity flowing in that room. We're conserving energy, honey. You're here, right? You be here for the long term. Oh, I'd have made it miserable for her. I'd have let Eli run all up in there, pissed all up. Oh, go on. Now you know where to go, E. Even E would have been looking at me like, huh? Go on, E. For real. We'd have had a whole, you getting the fuck about here today. Hey, Miss V, good morning. I believe she didn't have the proper paperwork because normally you need a card on file. A card on file? Because doesn't it continuously charge you the more you are there them days? Oh, she would have been out. Grim Rising, Yusuf. Yo, Yusuf, shout out to Yusuf. That's another person I'm trying to get on the Pinto, have a little chit chat. The way that woman just walked across that floor, I catch an attitude when people make themselves too comfortable. Nate, that's how I was looking. I said, no, look at this bitch just walking across. I said, this got to be fake. Because in that moment, recording, I would have got up and threw something. It would have been something. Y'all would have heard glasses. Bitch, y'all would have heard something. It wouldn't have been, this motherfucker still squatting in my, look at this bitch. No, ain't no look at this bitch. Girl, you better, what's going on here? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. ABB horse for both ends. Okay, take the fridge out the house. She will leave. Okay, I'll fuck around and set up a whole porta potty right in her room. Oh yeah, have them doing all kind of shit. She'd be out. So y'all, I honestly did not believe this story. I'm gonna be real with you. Woman leased room on Airbnb. Tenant refused to leave the house. I really didn't believe it, but like y'all said, there are squatter rights. Please, if you do Airbnb, be very sure that you're not letting people stay for longer than 11 days, because once that 12th day kick in, what is it? No, I'm saying it wrong. Once that 14th day for 2 weeks. So let them live there for about 13 days. Once 14 days kick in, apparently they have squatters' rights. Even if they did it through a third-party app like Airbnb, it has to be considered hoteling. And I guess Airbnb doesn't consider themselves a hotel, a hoteling place. They consider themselves a rental option, short-term and long-term. And so I guess when you are doing short-term and long-term rentals through Airbnb, squatters' rights still apply. Hell no, bitch. I'm gonna squat your ass right in the front of the building. When the police come, we both gonna be squatting. I'm gonna be arrested and you gonna be squatting because you got holes in your fucking bag. Bitch, get the fuck up out of here, woman or male. At that point, sex goes out the door. Women, gender orientation, your status, all that shit go out the window. Bitch, get the fuck up out of here, you dirty rat. Fuck wrong with you? Fuck. We have to talk on IG. My email for okay. All right, I'm gonna look you up. I didn't even know you was on IG. I'm gonna look you up. It was a look at this bitch for me. It's crazy, but once they have mail there, they are a tenant. Joanna, that is nuts. 14 days. That's what it is. 14 days. 14 days. Peace, making tea. Everyone. Hey, Miss Cruiser. Miss Cruiser, I'm loving your updates. You know, I'll be checking them out. Give them 10 days just in case they find a reason to have it extend. Okay, so don't do 13, just do 10. Once you get around that 10th day, you start looking at this bitch like, all right, now, and I don't have no extension. Your checkout time is 1. No, you can't stay another day, bitch. I'm here. Have your goonies with you. You might want to come up. You might want, at her checkout, you might want to show up heavy. Bitch, my whole family be in the damn house cleaning up. We all in there. Oh, I was going to see if I could stay another day. No, ma'am. You got to leave, bitch, just in case. I will blast the theme song from Friday the 13th. I knew a lady who moved her wild family in a vacant new house, and the owners had to serve her with eviction notices. She stayed there 6 months. Damn, yo, it was recently changed to short-term rental status. That's what it was. I knew it was something because they couldn't get away too long with it just being like, what was it, like considered like just rental space? It had to be something to classify under the rental option for squatters' rights to apply. She's probably all in the refrigerator and taking orange juice to the head, baby. See, that's another thing. I didn't even think about that. You start going in my cabinets, we got a whole nother issue on hands. Yeah. Good morning, Droid girl. Good morning. Stay. All right. So yeah, I didn't believe that. Now let's get into this other story. So now we're going to get into the discrimination part of our news story. So the first discrimination story I want to talk about is, which I talked about it on Monday, but I said I was going to say for Wednesday, was these guys from this KKK caught slipping. 31 white supremacists, weapons, and riot gear busted on the way to attack Idaho Pride event. So I'm gonna, again, I think I played a little clip on, because I really want you all to see them, how ganged up they look. They, you know, they love to put on the news stories how gang we looked up and how we look. So I want this to stick. I want this visual to stick in motherfuckers' brains too. Look at how these militant ass, American made, born as, racist as, discriminative as people are. They so fucking racist and discriminist that they wanted to pile up in the back of a U-Haul truck. I would fucking never. Bitch, never. You're not putting me in the back of a U-Haul truck just because I hate somebody that fucking much. Bitch, if I hate you that much, I'm going to do it on my own. Y'all got to get together this much to go fuck a pride attack. Apparently that, you know, we're homos and everybody who's gay, they're weaker than. But clearly here, you bitches had to pile up in the back of a dirty ass U-Haul truck looking rinky dinky to go to Idaho, out of all the places to stage a fake attack. If this ain't some coward, weak bullshit, weak ass, just y'all can't even claim man status. Y'all did all of that for the gays. I mean, really, you did all of this for us. Great, wonderful, cute effort, bitch. Bye. Look at this horrible shit. A bunch of nobodies. Reclaim America. You fucking kidding me? Look at this shit. Fucking bullshit. Dirt, and it's not. And hold up. By the way, so we ain't talking about any.
Got pulled over.
We're not talking about any fucking U-Haul truck, y'all. We talking about the little one, the 1-bedroom U-Haul truck, the U-Haul truck just for the front room and the back room. These bitches couldn't even get a big fucking truck to come roll down and do something. Y'all couldn't do a Suburban or nothing. A U-Haul truck. Fucking get out of here. I mean, literally, all of this.
Over. They were all piled in the U-Haul, and they are all detained.
Another thing. Yeah, I ain't done. It's funny how they can have their faces all still covered up, but let that have been any other group or any group of anybody else, y'all uncovering their faces, but y'all want to protect them. That's cool, because I got another video showing all their motherfucking faces. What y'all want to protect them for? No, bitch. I don't want them getting no protection. And we got another story coming up which shows why these people want protection, because when you do dirty shit like this and it gets uncovered in the public eye, your life is forever scrutinized. We'll talk about it on the Chicago police officer who resigns. Look at this shit. Zip ties and face coverings. This looked like the real homo group to me. If you really want to be honest, if you really want to ask me, that looked real gay to me. Y'all in the back of a truck, all covered up, all up on each other like that. But y'all was coming to get the homos. Y'all was coming to raise the awareness, raise the flag, reclaim America. Silly ass. Y'all just silly as fuck. So now let's look at who these people, what's the faces behind the mask. Let's look at these hoes. Yeah, I'm gonna put y'all faces out here. Y'all shouldn't have did the crime. Where is it at? Where is it at? Okay, here we go. 31 of them. Yeah, I want y'all to be seen. Look like everyday common folks that you probably walk past and walk by and never realize that this kind of behavior persists. But we're gonna talk and we're gonna see
it. Arrested just a quarter mile from a Pride event in Idaho. They were in a U-Haul truck, and tonight we learned some of the officers who actually made those arrests are now getting threats themselves. 31 men with links to the white nationalist group, the Patriot Front, charged with conspiracy to riot.
Let me go back. Y'all ain't finna get off the screen that quick. There we go. I want y'all to look at this. I really want y'all to look at this. They're younger. They look like the common white male that you probably walk past. They probably say, "Hey, how are you? How's it going? Hey, bud. Hey, buddy. Hey, bud. Hey, bud. How are you?" All of that. So I really wanted to pull this out. I really want y'all to see this shit. Clean cut, shaven, probably got families at home, but they want to get in the back of a U-Haul truck to come for the gays. Yeah, y'all some men. Y'all strong. The fuck out of here. While y'all beating y'all own women. Hold up. And be the same men that be at home beating their women. These be the same women beaters, but they want to come for the gays. Okay, let's continue. I'm not bothered or moved. Y'all didn't move me, bitch, because you would have to take the mask off. You have to take the mask off and be in my face. You know damn well you couldn't do that. You couldn't be the way you want to be with the mask off. You had to have the mask on. You have to have 31 of y'all. Y'all have to go down in the U-Haul truck to make some noise. You couldn't do it by yourself. It just made me so mad. Are you kidding me?
The arrest after a tipster reported seeing them dressed like a, quote, little army piling into the back of a U-Haul with riot gear. Here's our Chief Justice correspondent, Peter Thomas, now.
Tonight, authorities in Idaho say they narrowly averted an attack by white nationalists a gay pride celebration.
That level of preparation is not something you see every day. It was very clear to us immediately that this was a riotous group.
31 members of the Patriot Front are now facing misdemeanor charges of conspiracy to riot. Authorities say their plans were thwarted when a concerned citizen reported seeing about 20 people loading into a U-Haul van on Saturday. Police stopping them less than a quarter mile from the event.
It, quote, looked like a little army.
Investigators say they recovered shields, riot gear, and at least one smoke grenade from the truck, along with documents laying out the group's plan for a riot. Members traveling to Idaho from 10 other states. The white supremacist group Patriot Front, forming in the aftermath of the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville in 2017.
We are dealing with a very large pool of people.
Now, before I end this one, I want to talk about this right here.
The white supremacist.
I want y'all to look at this map. You see these states? I'm not too far from Virginia. Y'all know I love me some Illinois. Y'all see these states? Be very mindful. These 31 guys came from these states right here, where we know there's still high levels of racism there. But they travel all the way from these states to go to do that where the red mark is, Idaho. So I just want you all to get an idea of how ridiculous people will go, how far they will go for a pride event in Idaho. Why y'all didn't go to a main one, a large one in Idaho? What kind of noise you're trying to make? Now the police officers are receiving death threats and all kinds of things. Oh, I said, so this will be interesting. So it'll take police officers to receive death threats from these groups, and they call it, this group in particular, it's the Patriot Front, a far-right group known for its white supremacist and neo-fascist ideologies. Men were donning logos and insignias associated with the hate group. So they've came from 11 different states. So pay attention to this. Now I'm going to see how far this goes. I'm going to report on what they'll be charged for. Of course, the federal hate crimes, because of that manifesto that was found that detailed what they wanted to do and what, and of course I'm going to be looking for the manifesto so we can report on that next week. So hopefully we have more details about this, but I definitely wanted you all to be aware this shit is going on. Stay vigilant. You start seeing people packed up together, dressed alike, masks and shit on their face, do the same thing this woman. Hey, it's a group of y'all down here doing some shit. I need to know what's going on. Feel empowered to do that, because you know what? When a bunch of us is in a motherfucking van and we go into a neighborhood or something that might look like, they'll do it to us. So do it. Call, report, do all of that shit. I can't stress it enough. Be the same that has been done to you. Do that shit. If they gonna call on you, bitch, call on them. You don't think I won't? Let me see a U-Haul truck pull up, and y'all might be moving, but bitch, it was 7 of y'all. I'm trying to make sure it's okay. Hey, I'm just want to put it on record. You never know if you putting it on record is some change that's being caused. So that was that story. My plane, my train, my automobile, reasons for needing another day. Get out, bitch. Okay, I'd say 7 days. So if you have an excuse to stay, you can pay for 2 more days. But you gotta go, bitch. Bitch, you got to go. You got to go. My family have rental properties, and there have been stories about true unruly tenants. That's crazy. Surefire way to get her out. Start hosting. You know what? I'm not doing this with you. Start hosting Jehovah's Witness meetings every night. You know what? Who will believe their eyes in 2022? Yeah, right. They were doing a group field trip with cosplay. Right. Cosplay. Exactly. Their YMCA rejects. Not the 1990. Okay, you got the one bedroom U-Haul. Okay. The one, what? They should put them all in skirts and lock them up, period. And period. Put them right down at Central Booking. Take them right the fuck downtown, and let's see what happens there, how hard and tough they are. That's the real gag. Hey, good morning, Treasure Lane. Good morning. All I know is the original Forrest who started the wearing of the bed sheets and curtains to scare the blacks is rolling in their graves over these fools. Like, now I know y'all did not get caught. Oh, in a fucking U-Haul. Yet black gangs are hunting their own too. It's a disgrace. Well, you got a point there. You do got a point. On a very local level, might as well put the white sheet back on. Dummies. Hey, VMW. Good morning. I blame Trump. I blame Trump. It's MAGA fault. That's right. Blast them. I'll blast the fuck out of them. Okay. Ain't no one gonna dox them. Best black investigators too. And that's the thing. That's why I'm like, show their faces. I can't wait to get the manifesto. I can't wait for more details to come out because I feel like it's more important. It's important for us to start putting names and shit we get our shit blasted, a truck full of trade. I guarantee you it's like 4 or 5 pieces of trade off that, not trade that I'm interested in, but I'm guarantee you 4 or 5 of them dudes out of 31. What is the statistic? It's a statistic out there about, it's a stat out there. I don't know what the stat is, but it's a stat. And I don't know if it's out of 25 men or 31 men, but it's a stat out there. I'm sure no one is going to drop a pin for the pull up. Yusuf, period. Okay, this is what happens when you have a 2-tiered system and the government does not prosecute the domestic terrorists. They consider this a soft target. The face covering is the privilege of being white. Identifying meaning you got to look at their community town. Working at okay, all in Home Depot. You need help with anything? Can I get you some paint? What color paint you need? All right, well, we don't have that today. All of that kind of shit. Yeah, I can totally see that. Those are the ones who say my best buddy is black. And the minute you start saying that buddy shit to me, I get to, what are we doing here? Oh, I need to find who they are. There's more white gangs where that came from too. Senior and junior slave catchers and Klansmen. You better preach. Make no mistake that they were there to hit mostly black gays. And as for their own, they are mad because they're in a birth decline. So they want to bet the gay out. Yeah, that's why I said it. A racist. You best to believe it. And so they can get their numbers up. Absolutely. Oh, my babies are in Virginia. Yep. What heterosexual male is that obsessed with homosexuals? It is weird as fuck. It really is. The Klan meets quarterly at Stone Mountain in Georgia too. Why didn't they come out here to California? Joanna, so you want to make the biggest impact. You want to do something. 31 of y'all. You use your biggest power for Idaho Pride event. Y'all should just told me I was going to have some fun. Look, we going to play. You did all of that for that. Y'all might as well went to Cal. That's what I'm sitting thinking. Like, why don't y'all go to the biggest city and do something? Why don't y'all make a big impact? Tell them to come on down to Abraham. You said, yeah, right. I had to say I will let it we'll let it go. No, I feel you. I don't understand why they are being charged with misdemeanor, not a felony. Well, we'll see. Right, if you see something, say something. The white people that say that shit on white people. Yep. You too. You know why? They are 90% racist, period. We need to stop denying it, not you, boo. Oh, there's definitely a few double agents in the tight little van. Okay, you can stand back here. There's more room back here. Come on, keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. You're okay? All right. Riding hitting them bumps and shit. You know all what was going on back there. Come on now. Come on. So yeah, this has been an interesting little thing. I'll stay tuned to it. What they're being charged for. So they're being charged for because I didn't see at the time, I still didn't see. All 31 men were arrested and charged with conspiracy to riot. Authorities believe the suspects are members of Patriot Front, a far-right group known for its white supremacist and neo-fascist ideology. So if they're just doing it it's because obviously nothing actually occurred, no crime. They just all were packed into a van with the intent. But I'm sure if something happened, they probably would have then moved it to the next level. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of this. Like, will they be going to jail? Will they be placed on some national registry of people who hate people in America? I don't know, but something needs to happen. Now let's get into this next story. Now, this is the story I was telling y'all about earlier when I opened up the show. Now, this black man, right? He's driving on the highway with his son in the car. His son is in the car, and he has a car behind him. But there's a car that's on the side of him that wants to get over. Like, hey, yo, can you slow down so I can get over? So the black man's polite. He's like, yeah, you can get over. But the white guy behind him did not like that shit, right? So some context. The black man is a police officer in the current town that he's in. The guy behind him is an off-duty sheriff officer. So the guy behind him pulls around him and gets to calling him all kind of N-words in front of his sons, and then trails the man to a parking lot, gets out, and throws a blade at the man. I was, I had started feeling some kind of way because the man was with his son, right? And I just kept thinking, like, okay, of course the man's gonna chill out. No, this dude put the pedal to the metal. So let's get into this story. So off duty, hold on, let me move this comment off the screen. All right. So off duty, driver claims to be a state trooper, jabs box cutter at off-duty black pastor cop after using the N-word. So this video has went viral. It was in New York, in a New York community, in Newburgh, which some consider to be the upstate, but I don't. It's just upper. But the police, the victim, Robert Lingmore, he's a pastor and a police lieutenant in the town of Walk Hill, New York. And so he's saying that he couldn't believe it. He was the racial epithets that he was saying to him, and while his son was there. So I'm going to share this little video of this situation. Let me share my screen. Let me share the screen. Y'all get into this. Here we go. Are you queued up, boo?
Tirade from a man claiming to be a state trooper, and the disturbing confrontation was caught on camera.
That trooper act? You. That's how troopers act? You.
But officials for the New York State Troopers say this man is not and never was a trooper, and now the real police are looking for him. Eyewitness News reporter Marcus Solis live in Newburgh with the latest on this story. Marcus.
Well, David, Liz, as a pastor, the victim says he forgives the man seen in that video. However, that victim is also a police lieutenant, and so he says he doesn't want that individual to face charges. It's a shocking display of anger fueled by racial slurs. And it may not be the most disturbing video. More on that in a minute. State police are looking to interview this man who spewed the N-word at another motorist and his son in Newburgh Saturday afternoon.
Just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that, the racial epithets, him saying that he was a cop or a trooper. But most of all, just him doing what he did, and he's an older gentleman.
Robert McLemore says the white motorist became upset when McLemore slowed down to let another vehicle pass in front of him. McLemore says the driver waved a box cutter, almost rear-ended him, then followed him into the parking lot of a restaurant where he claimed he was an off-duty trooper.
Troopers act? Be white. They'll never be white. That's how troopers act?
Cursed and flashed the middle finger.
45 years I've been living here. Nobody's ever done anything like this. Nobody's ever put a box cutter to my face or anything like that, or disrespected me in any way. So I was shocked.
But that wasn't the end of it.
I'll stab you,
This is the second video, a short time later, when the driver tries to stab McLemore, actually poking a small hole in his phone case. The driver hasn't been identified, but he is not a resident of the city.
I just couldn't believe someone would use those words in 2022 in the city of Newburgh.
The irony is that McLemore is a cop, a lieutenant in the town of Walk Hill, as well as a church pastor. He could have taken police action the moment a knife was displayed, but opted to file a report instead to spare his son any additional trauma.
I replay it in my mind, probably like every 3 seconds. I replay it in my mind of what I could have done.
The mayor says there was a second incident shortly after in which a Hispanic couple was targeted, allegedly by...
I can't. I can't. Baby, the minute that old ass man would have got his ass to my car, sticking a damn blade in there, I'd have opened the door. I'd have swung that motherfucking door open and knocked his ass clean the fuck out and got the fuck out and fucked him up. I would have stomped him out. I would have felt fear for my life. He would have had... Have y'all ever watched that Martin episode when Martin's face had got blown up from getting punched by the boxer? I would have fucked his ass up. But see, he's a pastor and he's a police officer. So I commend the man on reverting to his morals. I always tell y'all, you know, it's always important to weigh your morals out versus what's going on. He reverted to his morals, and I commend him on that. Not many of us could have done that. Ain't no way you sticking your hand in my car and that's my son, and then me, and I'm filming you, and you sticking it. No, bro, we get something gotta give. Now, something gotta give. I don't know the fuck you thought. We're not in 1950. You have your times confused. See, you get fucked up nowadays. So I commend the man on doing that. Again, there's pockets of racism all across the state of New York. This man did not even live in this area, nor was he ever on anybody's roster of being a state trooper, yet he donned, I'm a retired state trooper. So they're looking for him. Even just to question him, even though the guy hasn't asked any isn't pressing any charges. And I said, oh, okay, well, we got another one out on the fucking loose. So now he's on the loose to do that same thing to someone else until he dies of old fucking age. How long you think you've been doing this? He looked like he was about to croak over right then and there. So I'm sure he's probably been acting like this. Go on and put that man. I mean, I ain't trying to say take him out of his misery, but go on and seek that man somewhere where he'll be able to enjoy the rest of his years. A nursing home, Shady Pines, somewhere. The fuck is wrong with him? Why didn't he come out here to? I told y'all about them two beheaded double agents. Okay. Good morning. Hey, DKL. Good morning. Imagine the smell in that little smoker. You know it was hot in there. They couldn't even get a refrigerated truck. If the race roles were reversed, they would have shot that black man in front of a child. I agree. If he did not defend himself, I gotta look away. Wow. He's a nigga too. Wow. If that was a black woman berating him like that, he would have put hands on her. Wow. Nothing disturbing about your normal behavior. If they ain't black, they will call you the N-word when they're feeling, instantly. State troopers doesn't have hair. Suburban ghetto. What's disturbing is that we are shocked after so many. Absolutely. Good morning, Joe. Thank you for coming through. Stop with the forgiveness bullshit. Do that ish in private. This is for the forgiver. He couldn't believe those words can be used in 2022. Man, please. Okay, shit. My son would have helped. Oh, Joanna. I don't know what hood. I'm sitting here thinking about me and my cousin, right? And as we was riding up the coast, encountering mad shit. Everybody in the car would have had some shit to say. Who the fuck? I can hear the little ones. Watch your mouth now. Though you're getting out of pocket, watch your mouth. I can see us all turning vigilant. You know, ain't no way. I think we're more shocked by how the man handled the situation. I'm not shocked by him getting out saying no shit like that. I'm shocked that you're not gonna put no blade in my car window. Black, white, Puerto Rican. Are you slow? And I'm in the vehicle and you're standing outside. You mean I'm behind the vehicle with the foot on the pedal to drive this bitch, and you have the audacity to threaten me? Okay. Walk back to your car, sir, before you get a bumper and behind you. Whoever the fuck you are, on the grounds of morals. That's not, you don't do no shit like that. That's why I be quick to let bitches go, especially where I live now. These motherfuckers have road rage to the point where they will want to pull out something on your ass. Blacks don't want to beef with massa. You don't want him to face charges. You set back all black people when you do this. Good morning, Anthony. Good morning. I'm so mad at this black man. I will drag this. Thanks for breaking this story for us, King Roman. I know you about to go drag. Baby, you should be over there dragging down. We gotta do a news one day. We gotta do one together. I can come over there or you come over here or whatever, but I'm gonna hit you on IG. So an old white man was reliving his segregation. Period, B1. Period. And we let that shit get away. Oh, okay. Yeah, I would have opened my fucking door up so quick and watched him roll right on the ground and stumped out. Are you sure you want to do this shit today, nigga? Dude, bitch. I'd have went off. Yeah. Pole Demon also has his sons and daughters out here too. A dumpster. Minus the hood and robe. There's many more out here. Okay, but I saw the phone directed to the yellow plates. How they can't find him. That's why I said, they want to question him. Had the roles reversed, had that been a black man doing that to a white couple and a white couple said, no, we don't want to press charges, I guarantee you that man will be in custody today, answering questions. I guarantee you that the state's attorney would probably want to press charges. I guarantee you that, but we let this one just slide. Yes, we just let this one slide. Are you kidding me? So, okay, upstate New York. Now, let's get into this Christian school teacher. So, this Christian school teacher was arrested for allegedly sexting with a student. So, I bring this up because of how long it went on before anything was done about it. So apparently this student had been in her class not only for one grade level, but for multiple grade levels and multiple courses throughout the day. And so the child and this woman had been getting into, situations where she would, when her husband was away, she would invite the child over for play. But nothing ever happened. So one day the mother, back in June 2nd, she grabbed her son's phone and she said, "What's going on here?" So she released the text messages to the school, and the school decided to cut ties with her. Now, I said the school's cutting ties with her because they allowed this shit to go on for so long. They were complicit with it as well. So an arrest report states the mother contacted the local sheriff's office on June 2nd, claiming she discovered an explicit text conversation between her child and Hoover. She said one of the topics included Hoover's plan to sneak the student into her home while her husband was away at work. The text messages in question were sent in both March and April. She has been released from the Taylor County Jail on $15,000 bond. She has yet to enter a plea deal. They removed her name from the website as well as from the school. The teacher and Point of Grace Christian School officials have yet to publicly comment on the arrest. Now, here, absolutely what I think is going to happen, and I'm going to tell y'all on the update of next week, is because the school know that they're complicit, there's going to be probably a plea deal set forth that allows this woman probably to be placed on some register, some foot ankle on monitor, and she can no longer be hired around kids because the school will have to then admit that they were complicit in this as well. How do you allow 3 grade levels to go by before this is then found by the mother? I don't think so. So I wanted to bring that up because I know there's going to be an update coming on to that. Let's get into this next story. Little Caesars. So this girl was working at Little Caesars and she got fired. So she came back up to the place and she asked the manager, "Can you give me my job back?" And the manager was like, "No, you're not getting your job back." So she goes to fight the manager in the restaurant. Mind you, this is the store manager. And the fight ends up outside. So mind you, this is a female and a male. The fight ends up outside. She pulls a gun on him and shoots him in his leg. So the man was released from the hospital. He's in good condition. However, she was booked into the Hamilton County Justice Center on Thursday. During her arraignment on Friday, the judge set her bond at $500,000. Now, her attorney has requested a lower bond because she has no prior criminal history. She has absolutely no prior criminal history that I can show. She does have a valid defense to this charge. We don't want to get into it this morning, but she does have a valid defense. So I said, well, what could her valid defense be? She got fired. She went back up there. She caused the fight, shot the man, and now she has a valid defense. And I was trying to think, what could the valid defense have been? The only thing I could think of is that if he was sexually assaulting her or if he was abusing her in any way that she felt threatened on this time that she wanted to retaliate, which caused her to retaliate in such a manner. Even that is still wrong. So I'm going to stay tuned to this employee shooting the manager for not rehiring her. White couple be armed and ready to shoot. Oh my God, Cordero. What up, Cordero? Hey, Cordero. Good morning, sickening. Give that woman her job back. Oh my God. Well, there goes your freedom. All over the fact that you got fired from Little Caesars. Now, I'm still waiting to figure out what was the reason. Like, it had to be some reason. So I'm hoping I get more self-defense after the fight went outside. It's still a man fighting a woman. So you think that, oh wow, really? So she could claim self-defense. Oh wow, I didn't even get that angle. Joe, that's a good point. Cordero, what's popping? Another DMV native. What is popping with you, Cordero? Thank you for coming through. All right, now let's get into this next story. Now, Yusuf, this might trigger you. B1, this might trigger you. So we talked about this earlier. What happens to folks when specifically racist individuals, white racist cops, or somebody in law enforcement who's been caught on viral video being racist? We talk about that, but we never talk about what happens to them after that. So once your situation goes on, your viral video is out there, you either get desk duty or whatever. What happens to your life? Well, we have one great example. And who's basking? King Roman is basking. So this Chicago police officer resigns amid scrutiny after viral video shows his manhandling of a black woman. So here's what he has to say before I show y'all this video. He says that he had enough of the nonsense and scrutiny for doing his job. He got the hell out of this city and got the hell out of this state and is moving on with his life. He is saying that he faced a 20-day suspension as well. Now, I'm going to show you this video of what went on so you can now understand his comments. He got the hell out of this city. He's done with it. It's nonsense. He did his job and blah, blah, blah. So why are people scrutinizing me? Now, mind you, this happened back in August of last year, right? August of last year. Here we are in June of this year, and he is still feeling the effects of being a dick in the face in public when you are a police officer. And because nobody else wants to show this man's face because he's a police officer and he's supposed to be protected, I went and found his motherfucking face. Here's his face. His name is Bruce Dryker. He used to live in Chicago, Illinois. He's moving out of Chicago, Illinois because this is what he did. Let's run this beautiful. Well, it ain't beautiful to her. And I got a picture of her as well with her and her dog. Now, mind you, she was out on the Navy Pier in Chicago walking her dog. And at the time, the police officer rolled by and was like, you need to move your dog. You need to move. You shouldn't be out here. And she continued to walk. And she's like, okay, because if you're a dog owner, you understand that. Listen, he just got to piss and shit real quick. And this is his area. Just let him go. Please. Just give me 1 second. Go ahead, E. Go. Do your thing. So he didn't understand that. So being the officer he decides to insert himself when he shouldn't have. So let's get into this.
Now understand this.
Please respect my space.
Respect your space? I'm about to put handcuffs on you.
I have a mask on.
I don't need a mask. I'm outside. Understand that. We're not inside a building. Know the ordinances. The exit is that way.
Please,
you need to exit.
Please back up.
Ma'am.
Back up, man. Back up.
Get
back
out
up.
of the park.
Back up.
What do you not understand about that? The park is closed.
Back up.
You are trespassing on city property, and you will go to jail if you don't take your dog and leave.
Back up. Move away from me.
I'm escorting you out of the park.
COVID, you don't have a mask.
You don't need one outside.
You're spitting on me.
I'm not spitting on you.
You are spitting. Back up.
Keep walking.
Back up.
Keep walking.
At this point, this is an issue. You need to move away from me.
Keep walking. Straight to the exit.
I feel threatened.
Good.
Back up.
I'm about to put handcuffs on you if you don't keep walking. Do you want to test me on this?
Back up. Let go of me! Let go! Let go! Let go! Let go! Let go! Ah! Let go! I'm leaving! Let go! Get off of me!
I'm sorry, news crew. I had to pause right there just to give a little commentary. You see the dog is with her. She has her fucking dog in her hand. Now I know my dog would have started barking and showing the fuck out. That had to be extremely, extremely traumatic for her and her dog. You know what I'm saying? And that could have been her child. and you're still willing to go to this extra mile to be the dick in the face that you are. Because you know I got a Mr. Bruce Dryker, the whole dick in the face. Let's continue. Stupid ass jerk. Bitch ass. You want to do that to a whole female. She was going. Chill the fuck out, bitch.
When I told you to exit, you don't wait until the police are about to arrest you and then decide to comply. Do you not understand that? Once I put handcuffs on you, you are going to jail and you're going to lose your dog. Are you going to leave the park? Are you going to leave the park? Answer my question. If I'm not facing the direction of the park, just wait till you're about to be arrested before you comply. Let go of me. Let go of me. Let go of me. Ma'am? Let go of me. You just don't understand the situation. I'm trying to fucking leave. Get off of me. I'm trying to leave. Get off of me. Pick up your phone. Let go. Let go of me.
Unfucking acceptable.
Your name is what?
Okay.
And what's the number?
19236. You want to go to jail? Stay in the park after hours.
Got your ass. And unfucking acceptable. All of that. So now you think we mad because you got to get the fuck out of the city because you're scrutinized and you're sick of the nonsense and people looking at you and all of this shit. You think we mad? No, you should have thought about that when you, in that strike of a moment, you were feeling weak as a man, in law enforcement, that somebody wasn't listening to you as immediately as you want. You don't know how to fucking use conflict resolution. You don't know how to calm and de-escalate a situation. You are an authority figure. Does this situation require me to be as excessive? I asked the young woman to get out of the park. Young woman, you have to get out of the park. I'm going to give you about 5 more minutes, but you have to get out the park. What's wrong with that? Oh, you got to get out the park now. I want to know what your fucking past look like. Oh, well, we can. So let's get into his fucking past real quick. Now, since joining the force in 1998, this man has had 25 complaints filed against him. Of the 25, only 3 have been upheld. Let me put your ugly ass up here too. Only 3 have been upheld. They say that Dryker had another altercation. He had an incident in Tennessee just 10 years into his career, involved a 20-day suspension for verbally abusing and pointing his weapon at a victim repeatedly. Dryker had another altercation with a black woman that resulted in her going to the University of Chicago hospital where she was treated for a bruised and swollen jaw. Now get into this story, this same jerk-ass man. So in this instance, the woman was driving for Uber in Wicker Park when the officer pulled her over. When asked to speak to Dryker's supervising officer before signing off on her ticket, he pulled her from the car, cuffed one of her wrists, and slammed her against the vehicle. This incident occurred in December 2017. The Civilian Office of Police Accountability cleared him of all charges. The woman then filed a complaint with the Chicago Police Department alleging his actions were racially motivated. Per the Citizens Police Data Project, Dryker has more civilian allegations than 88% of CPD officers. Between complaints, he received numerous awards, the 2009 Crime Reduction Award and a Presidential Election Deployment Award. So they finished their investigation of this incident on October 28th, but their findings were never released to the public. Disciplinary recommendations were handed down to Police Superintendent David Brown. Action could range from suspension to termination. He was on paid desk duty at the time of his resignation, which happened before a final decision was enacted by the city's law department. He officially has resigned in May. Now, all of that, given all of what he has done in his past and what we see viral, do you think we give a fuck about him feeling bad? I'm glad you felt this way. And this is what I say to all these people who do this shit and it goes viral. Be careful about what you do. See, You may think you're protected by white privilege, and you may think that you're protected by whatever privileges you have. But when you get out into the public and you get out into the world and you have to interact with some of these same people you hate, baby, it ain't the same. Y'all want to lock a whole bunch of black people up, right? Put them in jail, right? Then what happens when one of y'all fuck up and y'all go to jail for some racially motivated shit? Do y'all ever think that you're going to the same place where y'all are, where y'all been throwing people that y'all heavily against? I always think about that. And then let's say you don't, you get desk duty. You think you can just go to a Walmart? I'm just going to Walmart and get me some. You think you just walk up in there like you not, oh, that's that racist cop. Remember him? Hell yeah, nigga. If I could know who you was, I would be doing that very much so same thing. That's him. Mm-hmm. That's the one who did it. I can't believe it. That's crazy. All over there. Hey, look, I'm just checking out. I'm just checking out. I'll be gone 5 minutes. I'll be doing all that shit. Embarrassing the fuck out of him. Off duty and all. Oh yeah, you get embarrassed. Y'all better get out of here in 5 minutes. You know he the time checker. Hell yeah. So you think we care? Nope. Sucks on you. All of that. It was not that serious. Cops who do wrong get no protection. Harassment. Oh no. Awful. He had the nerve to say good. She was walking away. That's what I'm saying. Damn, some of these videos not trigger warnings. Need trigger warnings. He was following her. Yes, he was. This is the crime that these cops focus on. A black woman in a public park after I was walking her dog. Are you fucking kidding me? Good riddance. He's probably going somewhere else to harass black women. Hey, Zap. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for coming through. Whoa. Yes, no comment. Can't walk dog unarmed and a lone black woman. It wasn't that serious. He taking his power to another level. I agree. She was walking away, but she was taking her sweet time. She should have just left to knowing he's a race soldier. This is why a national registry of police officers is needed. It is too easy for them to pack up and move on. Yes, I agree. What do you think? He's finna retire. Go to another, he left this city, go to another place where they can do this shit all over again. How many times have we read stories where police officers have left one community to go to another community, and we read in their criminal past was in this town before and did X, Y, and Z? You know, like hopefully wherever he goes, they Google his name and this shit pop up. The crazy thing though is, y'all, if you Google his name, Bruce Dryker, Dryker, and Chicago police officer, no face pictures of him pop up at all. None. I said this police union they protect these police officers so much. Even in the news stories, they don't. I had to go snatch his picture off of a recorded video of a news story. Like, you got to be fucking kidding me. They don't want to show his face at all. So this man has an issue with non-white women, and instead of firing him, they gave him promotions and awards. Why isn't there a national registry of bad cops? I agree. And shout out to her and her beautiful dog. She's doing well. She's fine. Her last comment about him resigning was, they asked her why she was stopped by Dryker. Why does she think she was stopped by Dryker? And she said, just a black woman walking after hours. I guess I look suspicious. Honey, you should never have to look suspicious. And next time, if you see that, just move, just do your thing, but just like try to stay away from that shit. He shouldn't have never got you in that situation in the first place. And her beautiful baby, and this asshole just look like you have one in your face. All right, so let's move on to the next story. So now we're moving into the update portion of some stories that we talked about before. So the autopsy has been released for the teen who died on the Florida Amusement Park. Now, this autopsy reveals that he was 97 pounds over the weight limit of the ride. And so, I got my own opinion about this autopsy report, but I wanted to just put the facts out here. So the autopsy report goes on to say that the 14-year-old boy who died in March after falling from a ride at an amusement park in Florida was nearly 100 pounds over the weight limit of the attraction. The autopsy was conducted by the Orange County medical examiner and concluded that Tyre Sampson, who fell to his death on March 24th, weighed 383 pounds, which is 97 pounds over the 286-pound limit for the ride. The report determined that he died of blunt force trauma, with the manner of his death listed as an accident. Sampson suffered numerous fractures, including to the face, skull, ribs, and legs. He also had lacerations to his face, stomach, arms, and feet. Now, the family is continuing to cooperate with the The police is still continuing to cooperate with the representative of Tyre's family, as well as the Department of Agriculture. They're working with lawmakers to make safety changes to the amusement park industry. The lawsuit that the family is filing is claimed that the ride was unreasonably dangerous, alleging negligence and strict liability. And remember, they're suing for an excess of $30,000 in damages due to, I think there's a maximum there. Here's my thing. Did we need a fucking autopsy report to tell us that he was over the fucking weight limit? No. Who the fuck y'all? Is this for us or is this for the park? Why are you telling us he was overweight? Any person working in that position where you have to tell whether or not a person can fit on the ride or not can tell that the man could not get on the ride. I'm not understanding why that needed to be told in the autopsy report. Duh. Is it what you want? Are we trying to put out that black men are overweight, obese? No, that's not the fucking story here. You want to share that shit, send that in a fucking memo to them park staff folks so they know what they're working with. I just came from some amusement parks, and it was clear as day that those folks was looking at us, even though they had height charts and shit and body charts to tell us whether or not they were looking like, oh yeah, you need a rider, you need somebody with you, you can. And I felt good about that because even though we lined ourselves up, I can tell. So you think you need us to tell us that, yeah, he was overweight. Okay. You knew this before or after the fall? This dumb shit. Y'all get paid to report out on what? Like that's not the information. I don't think that's the narrative, or I don't think that's any of the information that we need to know. That helps no one at all. And I think that helps prove that this was an accident. The only fucking accident here was the dude came to work today. He should have called off and they should have put somebody else in his spot. That's the only fucking accident that occurred. I saw in my eyes, but okay, we'll carry on with this bullshit. Amusement park autopsy report. I'm saying when I read it, I'm like, okay, give me something else. Tell me, bitch, I'd rather know what tools you used in assessing his body. You telling me he was overweight. Well, shit, I'll be shit. There's some news you can use. Are you kidding me? That's the whole fucking point. The man fell out the damn ride. Y'all didn't strap him down safely on a 296-pound limit ride. Freak out of here. You got y'all are missing some screws now. This is what, yeah, I agree. He looks like, hey, make it make sense. Good morning. He looks like he be spitting in his breath. Oh my God. Black Swan, that is a nice project for the Black community to do. So this man has a national registry of Black cops. Black Lives Matter need to get behind that. They still let him on the ride, and I don't believe anything they say, period. You said we be right here, because I seriously said the same fucking thing. I said, so y'all telling us this after the fucking fact. Like, that makes no sense to me. Great. He is going to move to a new town and become a chief. Isn't Chicago that hard-faced lesbian state? Yet there are so many protected racist cops under her watch. Hard. Why she got to be hard in the face? I mean, she is kind of hard in the face. They not trying to pay the family $30,000 for my child's life. That's an insult. That is an insult. Are you, hey Sticks girl, good morning. This kid's death is turning into a race weight issue when it was negligence and willful ignorance, period. But B1, what are we talking about weight? That's why you're right. They're trying to help this lawsuit prove that it was an accident because of the weight. That's why they're pushing that whole narrative. Like, we need to know that. Tell us something we didn't fucking know. Are you kidding me? Good morning, T. Trisha One. Good morning to you. Thanks for coming through. So I'll stay tuned to that, but I think that's pretty much it. I just want to see the outcome of this lawsuit and see what else they're going to be able to gain from this, losing this life. Another update is, remember when we covered the Patrick Lyoya, I always get the last name wrong, story where this guy was pulled over for a traffic stop. And during the traffic stop, he got out the car peacefully and was trying to talk to the officer about what was going on. He started to run, and that's when he got shot and gunned down. Well, the police officer has now finally been charged. Finally, now, you hear me? Finally been charged. So this occurred back in, when did this? April 4th is when we first talked about this. Now, the charges were announced in a press conference on Thursday.
You're watching 13 on your side.
Okay, chill out. Chill out. So the charges happened on Thursday of last week. He had turned himself in. He's expected to be arraigned on this Friday. Now, they spent 6 weeks reviewing forensic and toxicology reports before making the decision. Now, his death sparked outrage in the Grand Rapids community and increasing pressure on police for answers. Authorities later released the footage, which I'm going to replay the footage for you all in a few, of the incident, and showed Schur draw his taser and demanded Lyoya, let go of the taser as they wrestled. The footage showed the officer push Lyoya face down to the ground, take out his firearm, and shoot Lyoya. There was a lengthy struggle. I'm told it was over a minute and a half of 2 minutes of fighting. During the struggle, the officer's weapon discharged, killing the man. At one point during the incident, Schur's body cam was deactivated. Now, you tell me why it took them 6 weeks to determine that this was negligence on the part of this officer, who then just simply went and turned himself in because he already knew what he was going through. Check this out. I'm going to breeze through it so we can get to the meat and potatoes of this. Why is my little Xfinity going? My little Xfinity moving a little light. Here we go. Now, first I want you to notice how he comes on scene.
Hey, stay in the car! Stay in the car!
Notice him on scene.
In the car!
The guy's out.
In the car!
He
Dude,
wants to talk to the officer.
I'm stopping you. You have a license? Do you have a license?
What?
I'm stopping you. Do you have a license?
What done?
Do you have a driver's license? Do you speak English?
Yes.
Can I see your license?
What does he want?
The plate doesn't belong on this car. Do you have a license or no? Do you have a driver's license?
Yes.
Where is it at?
It's in the car.
Get it for me.
What does he want?
The plate does not belong on this car.
Okay. Y'all be my right there, dude. Right there.
No. Stop. Put your hands right. Stop. 1915. You got one running. Go stop. Stop.
Now, this is the first incident. That's where he runs and the guy detains him. He then tases him, and Lyoya was holding the tase. And during this tussle, the man's body cam actually detaches from his chest. The gun discharges, and he shoots and kills Lyoya. Now, you tell me during this instance and watching this footage just a little bit, and it's on my channel actually under the clips playlist, where you needed 6 weeks to determine that this police officer needed to be charged. But I can't be too mad. I'm happy that they are charging the police officer. So I wanted to update you all on that. And he turned himself in. So I'll stay tuned to that story to keep you all updated on that. Now let's get into this next story. Now we're getting into the part of the show where, the stories take a very deep turn. So it's not for the ill-fated. First up is child abuse. So the first child, this story is really, really crazy. It's really, really crazy. So this woman is a waiter at this restaurant, and this kid is sitting there. He has a gash on his face, and he looks like he's hungry, and he looks very scared, and he's siloed away from everybody else at the table that's family. So she, being a waiter, she goes over to the guy and holds like a little napkin that says, "Do you need help?" under her table, but so that nobody else in the family sees it but him. And she then gets him help, calls the police. This guy gets apprehended. Now, 2 days before this incident, the man was arrested on child abuse charges. Then he gets released and he has the same child again in his care. The mother also is complicit because she said she knew this was going on, but she just didn't know what to do to help her child. So let's get into this weird ass fucking creepy ass story. Let me show you the players here. So this is the woman who saved a life. A waitress saved an 11-year-old boy who was being abused by his stepfather with a note she showed him in secret. Timothy Lee Wilson was convicted of child abuse and neglect after prosecutors accused him of torturing and starving the boy. Here's the mother. Boy's mother, Kristen Swan, allegedly admitted knowing about the abuse and failing to intervene. She was arrested and charged with child neglect as well. I mean, if you don't want your kids, if you don't know what to do with them, there's always ways out from doing what you think you might be doing. That's helping. Check this out.
Found guilty of abuse after a restaurant worker noticed possible trouble and called for help. Officials say Timothy Lee Wilson withheld food and water from his preteen stepson and forced him to do military-style exercises. Upon searching their home, police said they found several objects used as weapons, along with handcuffs and ratchet straps used to tie the victim up. These crimes may not have been discovered if it weren't for Flavian Carvalho, a manager at Mrs. Potato Restaurant.
On the police now on.
We have some customers here with 2 kids. One of the kids is with a lot of bruises.
She said she knew something was wrong. The child nodded his head yes after Carvalho flashed him a secret sign asking if he needed help.
When the order came to the table, I observed that the boy was denied food. The man told me that no, that was everything okay, and the boy was okay, and he was gonna have his dinner at the night at home.
The stepfather, Timothy Lee Wilson, was arrested along with the child's mother, Kristen Swan. She was charged with 2 counts of child neglect. Police allege she knew about the abuse and did not get medical attention for the boy. She has pleaded not guilty. Orlando Police Chief Orlando Rolon said if Flavian Carvalho had not intervened, quote, we probably would have been talking about a potential homicide investigation. Timothy Lee Wilson was convicted on several counts of child abuse and neglect in a Central Florida court. He will be sentenced on August 19, 2022. This is Inside Edition Digital.
What kind of fucking... First of all, thank God for this woman. I can only imagine what kind of emotion she had sitting there watching this child be disenfranchised by his family and then seeing the mother not do anything about it. I'm so glad she got caught up because, the second thing I would have said was, well, what the fucking mother was doing. I'm glad she got caught up in that swoop and the other kids were turned over to the state. It sucks that this child had to be going through it. I always say, I don't know what could a child do to be singled out and be so tortured and starved to damn near death by their own parents. What could they do? Like, I just be trying to, what did they shit in the house? Like, what did they, like, I don't know. I just don't know. Did they steal something? Did they eat all your food? What did they do? They sneak out the house late? That results to singling this young man out. Now, you look like you should have been arrested. I don't know what for. I don't know if there could, but your face gives jail tease, like you're going to your destination. You are prepared by natural uniform for a fucking jail cell. So I'm glad he's going to jail. Woman, I don't want to say that I don't know what kind of mother you were to your other kids or to this child, but yeah, you knew better. You knew motherfucking better to sit there and watch your natural child. This man isn't even their real father. The stepfather, you got a screw loose and you have yet to find it, but you're gonna find it now. Sucks. It sucks and I feel bad for the child, the young boy. And I'm so glad the woman, took her. She held that sign. Can you imagine how you could have got lambasted? You could have even got this child in more trouble had you said anything or did anything. The park was in the wrong. Why are they fighting this? This needs to go viral, and we need blacks to shame them to do right. Okay. Yet they are quick to say the best force. These corruption stories and cops are too common. The fact the public doesn't trust them are for a good, valid reason. angers you. So glad he's getting charged. Yet me too. The African guy's family has been pressing him to charge that cop. They know the cop was in the wrong. Wow, Lord bless that waitress. Bless her heart. Yes, Miss Linda B. Good morning, Miss. Good morning, Linda B. Good morning. Hey, ODS. Good morning, ODS. It's so good to see you. Good morning. Good morning. Shout out to ODS. And both of them are fat and nasty. Oh, and no wonder he's getting starved. Okay, he ain't getting starved because partly because you bitches probably eating it all. Let's be honest. Everyone around them knew the boy was abused. This waitress finally decided to do the right thing. She said years they've been going to that restaurant. That's a point too. That's a point. I mean, that's a point. I thank God the woman stopped and said something. There is no excuse. There are many things to withhold from teens. That's a hard 36. Nate, did you see? Did you see? It is. It is. Nerve enough to have a name like Timothy Lee Wilson. He just got both Timothy Blaine and Jay Wilson name all in one. Timothy Lee Wilson. Okay. It shouldn't be food, which is a necessity. As people, we get so used to not saying anything because that's their child and being afraid of crossing a boundary. But there are some boundaries that should be crossed. And I think that's a great lesson to take from this story. You know, you don't want to be too territorial or put yourself in too much of anybody else's business. But certainly in a public setting, in a public nature, if you see something that's not right in character, it does nothing to you to implore it first within your own space by looking, commenting maybe to a friend to get another opinion. And if it's overtly violent or overtly dangerous, or you do see bruises that might need to be tended to, then you can just stand up and go outside and call the police and come back and sit down. I mean, there's many options where you can do things and not truly insert yourself. But I say for our own people, always be vigilant. If you see a child sitting in a restaurant, a little black boy, baby or something, and he looks all beat up and bruised on the face, and certainly his father is disenfranchising him, I don't even want to say blacks, but whites, any race, I implore you to do something and call. You see a young girl who looks like she might be being trafficked. I always be looking for signs. Trust me, when I be walking my dog, I be looking for signs like, because you never can tell. You don't want to get yourself hurt, but you always want to be aware and see how much of your awareness you can shed to others, because you could be somebody's savior. You really could. When it comes to the vulnerable, be nosy. Period, B1. That's the best way to say it. That is the best way to say it. When it comes to the vulnerable, be nosy as fuck. Thank you. That's it. That sums it up. Why you say about Tim? Oh, when I said it, I heard it coming out my mouth like, like take it back. So yeah, asshole is going to jail, and asshole number 2 is going to jail. Now let's move into another asshole ass story. Baby, this is nuts as hell. This is another nutty. So Deundra Holloway. So this man had a pregnant ex-girlfriend, right? So he goes to his pregnant ex-girlfriend's house, who was due, her baby was due in June. Wait, is it June or July? Her baby was due mid-July. So he goes to her home in Illinois and beheads her. Gets into a fight with her. Gets into a fight with his ex-girlfriend, doesn't really want her to have the baby, doesn't want anything to do with her. And he gets into a fight with her, beheads her, and leaves and flees the scene. The mother comes to check on her daughter, and guess what she finds? Her daughter's headless and her body just sitting there, a bloody pool. And so, Deundra Holloway has been charged now with 2 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of intentional homicide of an unborn child, 1 count of dismembering a human body and concealment of homicidal death, and for possible motor vehicle offenses. She was identified Monday as Lyoya A. Dodd. Officers confirmed an adult was found dead in the home. He was accused of beheading Dodd, and they found her head in a dumpster. Holloway and Dodd have been dating on and off for 2 years. Dodd's baby was due in mid-July, just a month away. He was arrested and is being held at the Alton Police Department on a $2 million bond. Now, here's my thing. Is it ever that necessary as a man? We talked about this before, you know, when we were talking about abortion rights and rape, when men are in situations where they don't want the woman to concede with the pregnancy. However, they can't, it's not in their body, it's not in their right to control that. They can't stop that. So what do? And I always say, it's not, put a fucking condom on. It's not, you lose that fucking right the minute you put your semen in a woman. The right for you to then make that decision of whether or not she's going to keep that child is diminished. It goes away. You can hold on to that control when you put that fluid in a sack and throw it away. I always say that, and I'm going to stick by that. If somebody does something to me and the outcome of them doing something to me is this, and I know it, I'm not going to do it. So then you have situations like this, whereas she wants the child. They've been dating on and off. Clearly, there had to be other forms of abuse in this relationship. You get to the point where she's about to be due next month, and you're now pushed because you got a child coming. I don't know if you got other children. I don't know if you got child support. You lose your fucking wits in and you off her and throw her head in a dumpster so she couldn't be identified. Like, what did you think was going to happen? Did you think that, like, you rather not have a child that much that you rather be a criminal, a murderer, and go to jail? When you weigh this, is really that bad? Dog, while you in jail, you got a whole fucking story to tell. You might need to go sit with a mental health counselor and get them to understand why you felt like the choices you make, like, that don't make no fucking sense to me. And now this woman and this mother has to grieve her daughter, and this woman and her unborn child are just now gone forever. Rash ass decision because of you. Look at this. Look at him. Don't make no motherfucking sense. What a way to lose your life in anticipation of bringing life into the world. That's crazy. Lord have mercy. I am logging off. My family used to call out the parents who sent their black kids outside without their skin oiled. My family would say if they're doing that, they are capable of any kind of abuse. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Think about the possibilities of taking the penis out. Linda, okay? Is this mental health or just monster behavior? A combination of both. All this technology, we can't come up with some type of pill or shot for men so they can't create a baby. Like, I don't understand. It's not her fault. Surely when you met her and y'all got together, you thought, okay, we cool, we fucking. Surely you thought along the line she can be subject to get pregnant. It is a female. You fucking it is going to happen. And if y'all haven't had those conversations beforehand and then this just happens, your right is truly diminished. You cannot sit there and think that, okay, I told you I don't want to have this child, so X, Y, and Z. Well, if you're gonna still have it, then we gotta fight. Wait, hold on, because I did this for a reason.
Halfway. Halfway.
Like, no, but for real, like, how the fuck do you think that you're gonna be able to do some shit like that? It don't make no sense to me. Trash, more like defective. If you sleeping with a biology woman without a condom, pregnancy is the end game. This is B1. I don't know. I don't understand it. It's bound to happen. What and shame on her for it happening, and maybe she wanting to be a mother and she loved you, and despite you not wanting to have it, shame on her for wanting to bring another child into this world. Shame on her. But you don't get that right to determine her path. I don't give a fuck if you got a dick and titties on your body. You don't get that choice. Your choice is truly diminished when you bust inside this female. And I said it. That's it. I feel like that. If I sleep with a female today as Roman and I bust in her and she gets pregnant, I have to accept that. Like, oh my God. Nothing will cross my mind. I need to go off her. nothing crossed my mind like, oh, I gotta pay child support. I'm not even at child support because I know, well, now I'm gonna take care of my child because I'm there mentally. I'm not at, I don't have all those other stupid ass struggles and issues in my life where I'm at a point where I can't bring no more kids in the world. So unfortunately, that's not my fucking problem. But you men that find that to be your problem and this is the way you deal with it, you are right up there with how we treating these other motherfuckers too. Really, I'm being honest with you. It makes no sense. If men had a birth control pill, they still wouldn't take it. Period. Be a daddy versus go to jail. Let's outweigh that. Go to jail or be a daddy. I'd rather take my chances. I'm gonna go to jail. You got a pill. There's a pill sitting somewhere for you. There is with your name on it. My family would be real ignorant, but there is truth to the message, signs of neglect. I agree with that lotion thing now. Your ass in this house, put some damn lotion on. All right, so that was that story. So let's get into, I don't know how to say his name, but it's Felicia Johnson. It's the Felicia Johnson story. So Chukwam, if you can help me with the pronunciation, I truly appreciate it. But man wanted in missing Texas woman's murder, Googled how to be a serial killer and how to get away with murder. So if you don't remember, we talked about Felicia Johnson here before. Felicia Johnson went missing back in April. And she went to, I believe it was Texas. She went down to Houston, Texas, to celebrate her birthday. Yes, she went down to Houston, Texas to celebrate her birthday and to make extra money. And basically, when you say make extra money, set up, she went to go try out for a strip club, but she didn't quite make it. Then she basically was placing ads online. So then this asshole, Chuk Wooby, or whatever the fuck his name, I'm sorry, and I'm not being disrespectful to the culture, I'm just being disrespectful to him. I'm just gonna call him C. C decides to order her an Uber, pay her $500 for her service, order her an Uber from where she was to his location, from her hotel to his apartment location. And that's when things went awry. Now, they say that they caught this man because he had placed an Uber ride from his hotel back to her location, back to her hotel. And that's when they were able to track and find out where he was. And then that's when they uncovered him. But back on May 13th, they arrested him, but they didn't have any evidence or anything to hold him. But during the time of the arrest, they went through his phone and they uncovered, images, and they found, I think they said a picture of a dead woman, but there was no metadata on it, so they couldn't really do anything with it, which is beyond me. You pull somebody over for suspicion of murder and you find in their phone a picture of a dead body, bitch, that's enough for me. What? You can get a grand indictment and still for YSL on RICO, but you can't clearly on a man who got. What am I missing? Did I miss something in this fucking story? Maybe it could have been me. And so at the time they couldn't find anything. So they did say that he purchased items including a mechanical saw, trash bags, towels, and a flashlight around the time he killed Felicia Johnson. They said he made a series of suspicious Google searches. Now get into the shit he was searching on Google. So he went on Google to search this. He was out there searching, does bleach denature blood? Can bleach destroy DNA? What does bleach do to blood? What does vinegar do to blood? What does vinegar destroy blood DNA? And I'm sitting here thinking like, yeah, this man in particular from April 28th, he searched how to be a serial killer, how to get away with murder, how to kill without getting caught. So they searched on May 3rd whether police can check phone records of a missing person or their text messages. And they found that there was an April 30th search for escorts in Houston on his phone. They suggested that she originally encountered him for the purposes of prostitution. He withdrew a total of $500 for the April 16th encounter. He allegedly offered an Uber for her and picked her up on the early morning hours of April 16th. He took her to his apartment at 149 South Richmond Avenue. Now, her family was worried. So her family members in California reached out to Texas after not hearing from her. Her cell phone was found with blood on it off the roadway, and they found her purse nearby. Cops say they were able to track down him in part through investigating the Uber. They described a violent scene at his apartment, saying there was apparent blood stains throughout the residence when executing a search warrant on May 13th. This included the hallway floor just outside the bathroom. Testing showed a match to Johnson's DNA. After the original May 13th arrest, police claimed to find a photograph of a deceased, dismembered female and 3 photos of dead people on his phone. These images did not have metadata, so they weren't able to confirm if they were images of her or not. He was previously accused of a sexual assault in November of 2020. A woman claimed he tried to rape her in his vehicle. She got out and broke free after he chased her down and grabbed her wrist. The woman said in the probable cause affidavit. Police said she later denied there was any violence or sexual assault. She said she did not want to press charges and she wanted to go home. So currently, anyone with information on his whereabouts or this case are urged to contact the HPD Homicide Division. So let me get this right. This man, with all of this, even when you pulled him over, he had another active case back in November 2020 where he actually physically assaulted a woman who declined that. None of that was probable cause to keep him in jail May 13th, at the May 13th date. So now we're here and we're looking for him. Where were the fucking signs? I mean, did we not see the signs? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Now, neither the missing 24-year-old nor the 28-year-old suspect has been located. Police are now on the hunt for him, as well as her body, because he dismembered her body. So they still don't have her body, nor do they have know where his whereabouts are. And I see so much negligence on the police part, because I'm sure there could have been something they can hold anybody else for something to find some shit on them. And clearly there was a lot of things that they could have held this man in jail for, but they still did not. Like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? Clearly, child is a former NFL player in prison now because he didn't want to pay child support. You're going to go to jail either way. You might as well live a little bit if you're not paying child support. I am old, and when I was younger, I knew what unprotected sex gave and was prepared for the outcome. It's called being responsible. She allows it. Could have more than pregnancy, medication for life. That's true. I keep lotion, a comb, brush, etc. for my black students, specifically so I get it. They can indict a hand sandwich, but not Miss Toby. Like, for real. That was my thing. That was my whole entire thing. I have cussed a non-black couple for having their black daughter out here looking like a walking chalkboard, seeking donations for World Vision or UNICEF. They avoid me, but she looked clean now. Maybe they know he has a really good lawyer who will be able to get him out of it if they don't get uber solid evidence. I swear the Scooby-Doo writers should be allowed to investigate, because these are some ass backward cops. Like, all the signs were there. And if I was part of the family who called down to Texas initially during that first time, that missing call, I would be on their ass, because from then you had the person in hand. And so now it's the weight of you finding him, because now you have evidence, DNA, all of this stuff. You just now get, so on May 13th, what the fuck did y'all do? Did y'all just have tea and crumpets? Like, did y'all discuss the future? Did y'all have conversations about cars? Because to me, it sounded like y'all really didn't do a hell of a job initially when you pulled this man over. For us to know all of this shit afterwards, oh, he did do something to another black woman. He did try to rape her, and she tried to run, and she declined her report. But it did happen. Oh, okay. So we do got pictures on his phone of a dismembered body, but because we don't have metadata, we can't determine it or confirm. What the fuck? That would have been enough for me. But unfortunately, we're dealing with these half-time cops. Well, we'll investigate and do it right on this one. But on this one, we ain't gonna really say too much on it. Rest in peace to Felicia Johnson, and I hope your body is recovered. And it sucks that this is the way you just was trying to go celebrate your birthday, and it, make a little coin. And it sucks. This is the way that your family have to remember you. Who knows what the last time those conversations was, but shout out to your family. And I do hope that they find him rather sooner than later, because this makes no sense. All right, and then the final story of today is the murder-suicide story. The woman killed by her husband in murder-suicide after protection order was lifted. Now, this story right here just took me to places that I didn't even understand could even just be. So
we start with new information on a murder-suicide.
So an Alabama realtor who was granted a protective order against her husband was recently killed by him in a murder-suicide. Now, the protective order that she was granted for her husband was lifted 3 weeks earlier. And so what they're saying is she filed the protection order against him in February following a violent incident, y'all. Listen to me now. A violent incident in which he, at this time, he allegedly stomped on and stabbed her. He punched me, stomped me, stabbed me 3 times in the head, in my left side, and in my face, she wrote in the protective order application, on which she also detailed why she felt unsafe. I feel like he has a mental health condition that is untreated and needs to be treated. And so he was arrested after the incident. So the pair had appeared in court together on May 12th, where they asked for the protective order to be dismissed. And it's not really clear what prompted the request. Now, the couple is survived by their 3 daughters, one of whom was at the home of the murder-suicide. And so the husband, basically what they're saying is the bodies of 40-year-old Martella and 43-year-old husband Justin Tyler were found in their home last week. The couple, who had been married since 2013, were found by firefighters who extinguished the fire set at their residence. Police have determined Tyler killed his wife and then took his own life. The specific cause of death for both has yet to be publicly released. And so let me share this with you all. This is a sad story. A very sad story.
He's been new information on a murder-suicide in Huntsville. Huntsville police say they were called to this home on York Road over the weekend for a domestic disturbance. Huntsville Fire and Rescue later responded to the home for a fire. Inside the burning home, 2 people were found dead. Wait, they're doing Brittany Harry joins us live now.
She is at the Huntsville Police Department with new developments in this case. Brittany.
Well, Kellen Dan, we are learning a little bit more about those 2 people who were found dead in the home. Huntsville police confirmed to me today that they had been called out to that same home on York Road before for a domestic violence incident. And also I went through court records and those show Martella and Justin had been married since 2013. This is 40-year-old Martella Tyler. She's described by people who worked closely with her as someone who would go above and beyond. Martella was a hardworking realtor who had been with the Leading Edge real estate group in Huntsville for about 5 years. She died in a murder-suicide this weekend. Police say they believe was carried out by 43-year-old Justin Tyler. This is a prior mugshot Huntsville police provided of Justin. He's been charged with domestic violence before. This protection order was filed by Martella in February after she says Justin stomped her and stabbed her 3 times. She wrote in the protection order, quote, "I feel like he has a mental health condition that is untreated and needs to be treated." Just last month, Justin and Martella were in court to have the protection order dismissed. It was approved by a judge. News of Martella's death has shocked so many people who knew her, saying she didn't deserve this at all.
Well, we were just like speechless. I mean, there was no words to describe. I just can't understand how something like that can even happen.
And the Leading Edge real estate.
Such a sad story. First of all, rest in peace to this woman. They're survived by 3 daughters, 3 young daughters, which they also started a GoFundMe campaign. I'm gonna drop the campaign, the link into the chat. Their goal was $40,000. They've raised $31,938 so far. It says Martella leaves behind 3 beautiful daughters who are now without both mother and father. At this moment, along with prayers, we are asking for donations for these girls. They have a long road ahead of therapy, healing, and life ahead of them. And so here's the link. If you want to check out, it works. If you want to check it out, rest in peace. And this is merely a case of domestic violence in the home. And a lot of times we always talk about domestic violence and when women go back to their abusers. Everything is saying that the first instance was back in February when he stabbed her and really almost fatally attacked her. And then when she called the police, did everything she's supposed to, and she got a restraining order. Now that happened back in February. Who knows between February, March, and April whether they reconcile, was having on good terms. He was in the house with the kids and stuff like that. And then there was maybe have been times, they had explosive things or whatever. We don't know what that looked like, but all we can only take from this is that time and time again, the cycle of abuse tells us that even when we go back to our abusers, it may take more time away to truly do the healing that is needed. They had been together since 2013, so I'm sure she felt like that first incident. I saw allegedly, and I'm speaking from my pure heart on what I think could have happened here. But all I'm saying is she probably got back with him amicably. They both went back to the court to ask that on May 12th, to ask that the order of protection be lifted. Amicably. Who knows? Maybe he could have threatened her, bitch, if you don't go do this, I'm gonna hurt you even more. Who knows? But only thing we could take from this is that a lot of times when you are in a situation that you may have been abused once or multiple occasions, and you take that first step, don't waver, don't bend. Remember, love should not hurt you like this. And that first step is that first step of freedom. And it may be hard to step out there by yourself. It may be hard as fuck because you don't know anything. They've been together since 2013. But if you look at the cycle of domestic abuse and the offenders, it happens again. I'm not saying it's every situation. That's why I say it takes some time. And certainly, first incidents happening in February, then here we go in June. He kills not only you, but himself. Who knows? So I took from this in my own just a re-examination of the cycle of abuse, domestic violence in situations. And oftentimes it's quicker to forgive and move on than it is to really take the time to heal and process what happens, to make sure that we both understand what we want and what we don't want, and what love looks like and what love doesn't look like. And this was a clear example of, I'm sure that woman loved her husband. All signs lead me to believe that she loved him. She was a great person, a great mother who knew what he was experiencing and going through. And who's not to say that maybe he may have hit her or slapped her, but it wasn't as violent as the one in February 13th. So who knows what kind of abuse she had been living with prior to. The only thing we can do now is hope that the children are not traumatized to the point where the abuse is recycled through them, of what they may have seen their mother going through. So very, very sad story. And I wanted to end on that note. Just be very conscious. What do you all have to say? So is it because she was African American or a sex worker? Sex workers don't get any respect, yet they wouldn't exist if there wasn't demand. That's true too. That is very much so true. That is true. Same thing I said. There's no fucking way. There's no way that had this been, I hate to put it, but had a lot of factors been changed in this situation, that man would not have been held longer than that on May 13th. I mean, for fucking crying out loud, we see them holding people all the time until they get some evidence on them. Who was investigating? The Keystone cops, security guards, the hall sentries, the rent cops. So true. The guy probably flew back to Africa through Mexico. He's stupid if he's still in the USA. Now you got a point there, B1. Okay, Oh, it's an echo. I'm sorry. Oh, my bad. I hope it cleared up. The video played an echo. I be hearing that echo playing when I watch it back too. So sad. Rest in peace, Martella. Love and comfort to your friends, family, and coworkers. Just so sad. Get out of these toxic relationships. Rest in peace, Martella. Yes. So disturbing. So sad. She's so beautiful. I pray those babies have somewhere safe and loving to go. I wonder if he ever truly got help. If not, would it have made a difference? I don't think he did get any help during that period of time. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Because even a little bit of help would have probably prevented you from killing yourself. You know what I'm saying? Even a little bit of talking to someone or something. And then it also would have included the kids as well. So I'm sure they would have been able to provide you the motivation to want to not harm or hurt your mother, the mother of your children, or yourself at the expense of your children losing. Like, he didn't get the help he needed. There's some help that could have been given. Those poor daughters, I hope they never enter a tie. That's my whole biggest thing. I hope they don't look at the way their father treated their mother as a sign of, we need that same kind of love, because I oftentimes see and hear that. Remember, I adopted a family last Christmas, and that was part of her story with her mother, and that's why her and her mother never got along. Yes, she is beautiful, Stiggs. Love and strength to those kids. Facts. Yes, the echo did clear up. Okay. Sorry about that. All right, you all. Let me give you a little rundown what we talked about today. So today we kicked it off with Jack Daniels and Coke are pairing up to give us Jack Daniels and Coke. Now, will not hit the U.S. market until 2023, but if you are traveling in Mexico this fall, you will be able to get you some Diet and Coke. Some Jack Daniels and Coke. Brittany Griner has been, her stay in jail has been extended until her trial court date, another 18 days. Now, she has up to 6 months. The courts allow the investigators up to 6 months to extend. So my thing is, go ahead and take the whole 6 months, because y'all playing in our face. So she's already been in jail for about 118 days at this point. So Brittany Griner, we're wishing you the best. And we know that you're going to be used as a political pin in this game. The gun deal is here. I say it's very soft, but it's a start. Democrats do realize that we are missing some key important things. 1, raising the age limit. 2, universal background checks. And 3, banning assault rifles and guns. And so those are the 3 things that are missing out of this gun package. It does provide that anyone under the age of 21 must get a background check for criminal or anything like that, mental health. It does say that they want to give monies to local law enforcement to go after red flag alarms, so that they can enforce those laws and stuff like that. We talked about Airbnb, how we saw a hidden camera, and how the woman saw a hidden camera all over, and it was in the sprinklers. And if you go to Amazon and type in hidden cameras sprinklers, they'll actually pop up and you'll see what it looks like. So if you're going to be doing Airbnb this summer or any time in your travels, I want you to go back and watch this replay and look for the things that you should look for when you go in there. Because know for a fact, I'm going to be going in and checking all kind of shit if I do an Airbnb. We also talk about the woman who won't leave the Airbnb because she assumes squatter rights. And now we also know that squatter rights occurs after you staying at any rental property for longer than 2 weeks, 14 days. So behoove you, if you are offering Airbnb at your property, that you don't have any stay periods for longer than 14 days. And if you do, it's heavily documented, because apparently in some places you have squatter rights. Now, we all looked at this video and felt like it was a little foot playing, because ain't no way this bitch gonna be walking past me while I'm on my camera talking shit about her carelessly, like she about to go get in the shower. No, ho. I'm gonna throw some bleach on your ass in the shower. So yeah, I don't know. We talked about the KKKs caught slipping. 31 white supremacists showed up, were traveling in a 1-bedroom U-Haul pickup truck on their way to a lonely Idaho Pride event to be very racist and discriminatory. And they were caught. They are facing only a simple misdemeanor of intent to cause a riot. I'll stay tuned to this story, but if you want to hit the replay, go hit the red bar back so you can see we put their pictures up. They look like regular common day Joe Schmoes that be serving you coffee in these stores, that be working at Home Depot. So you want to pay attention to see all the signs. I'm all about the signs. We talked about this off-duty, fake-ass off-duty cop who pulled out a blade, pulled over on the highway, just having his road rage. Black pastor and cop riding with his son. Okay, he has road rage because the man let somebody over, pulls over to him, yells all kind of epithets, in this, in that, but gets out of his truck, old ass and all, sticks a blade in between his window, try to yank his ass. And the black pastor and the cop says, I respectfully decline to press charges. I just hope this man learns his lesson. And I said, for all of us, we pray that more people are like you, because I know I would have swung that door open and knocked that motherfucker over. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. And I'm working on it. That's shit I'm working on. Christian school teacher caught sexting a student, been doing it for 3 years. So the school finally trying to clear it up and cover themselves up. They release her. They're releasing her from the school, and she's hopefully her charges. She'll enter a plea deal where she'll probably get sex felony registry and some ankle monitoring, but I don't see anything happening there. But I wanted to show you how schools sometimes become complicit when the length and duration of time is for an extended period of time. Little Caesars employee shoots manager for not rehiring her. A fight starts inside and goes to the outside, where she pulls a gun out and shoots the person in the male manager in the leg. Now, I don't know who put it in the chat, but someone said that she could claim self-defense outside because he is a male, and that, you know, he may have been empowering her, and so she resorted to a gun because she felt threatened. I didn't look at that aspect. Chicago police officer resigns after his viral video of him manhandling a black woman back in August. Now, it happened in August. He had been on desk duty since then, but because of all the scrutiny, not only from public citizens, but I'm sure from the office, people like looking at him like, you better back away. You know, he give you the 5-minute rule and be all up on your ass. And I would have been there scrutinizing his ass too. He decides to leave the city, get out of town. He's going. Now, if you want to see the video, please red ball it back. It's a very, very interesting video. I mean, this man really puts his hands on this woman. And she's a beautiful, beautiful woman and her dog. So here's the woman, and here's his name, Bruce Dryker. Now, I told you if you Google Bruce Dryker in Chicago, no pictures of him will show up. We talked about an update on the amusement park, the autopsy, how they're stressing he was overweight. No fucking shit. Let's not talk about he was overweight. Can we talk about the mental capacity of, did you do an autopsy on the employee's brain at the time? Did we get a CT scan on his brain at the time of him starting his shift? Like, that's the reports we need. Now we need to get into some other fucking reporting, because all this does is help prove that this was an accident in nature, and the family's lawsuit is for in excess of $30,000. Proving that it was negligent on their part. And so you all coming out giving us an autopsy that he was overweight does what? Helps them where? So save that shit. We see right through it. Then we talked about Patrick Lyoya, the guy who was stopped at a trap. He was stopped because he had some fake plates on, but he then decided to run. And when he ran, the police officer tased him. He's still down, but because the police officer had him down and was so forcefully on him, his gun discharge shoots and kills this guy. So Patrick Leo, the police officer, has been charged. And so we'll be staying tuned to see what he's being charged on. Now, what gets me is it took them 6 weeks from when that happened back in April to now to determine that it was negligence on the police officer's part, that we do have something. They said they had to wait for forensics and shit. Oh, okay. All right. And we still got this update. So I will stay tuned to see what's going on here. Oh, and mind you, the guy resigned as well. So he resigned in all of this time. So he got to go out peacefully and all that good shit. Now he gets to face this. What a coward. We also talked about this really brave story where a waitress saved an 11-year-old boy who was being abused by his stepfather with a note. The guy was sitting at a restaurant with his child. This is a restaurant that they have been going to for the past few years. And the son, visibly looking beat with bruises on his face, separated from the rest of the family, father not allowing him to eat. The woman comes by with a card that says, like, do you need help? The same card that's shown here. And she calls police. And now, if you want to hear what she said on that police, you got a red bar back. We played it earlier, but I'm glad she did it. Now, his big ass was abusing the child, and she, the mother, was allowing it to go on, and she did not intervene. Mind you, the man is the stepfather, so shame on both of them, and we hope they both get locked up. Deundra Holloway beheaded his pregnant ex-girlfriend and put her head in the dumpster, leaving her mother to come find the disturbing remains of her body, all because he didn't want to have a child. Now, she was due mid-July. What an awful, horrible thing to do. You coward. Again, condoms are here for a reason. They are. They just are. We talked about Felicia Johnson, and the authorities are now searching for him as a potential suspect after he was charged last week with murder and tampering with evidence related to the death of Felicia Johnson and her appearance almost 2 months ago. We don't understand how he was let go back in May 13th with all of this surmounting evidence that should have been planted on him, not planted, but should have been enough to prove that he should have been still in jail. But however, now a manhunt is out looking for both her body and him. And then we ended on the murder-suicide, where the man killed his wife and himself after 2 weeks, May 12th, when they lifted the protective order from him attacking her in a prior incident back in February. And so my biggest thing to everyone is that stay vigilant, know when you are being abused and know what it takes like to be recovered and healed from that, because not everything is an overnight situation. It takes years to build a relationship. Just imagine how long it takes to come back from some trauma. Everything isn't a forgivable offense. Everything isn't just like, okay, I know you were heated in the moment. No, we need to know what you're going to do next time you're heated in the moment. I think those are conversations that couples and relationships should have, healthy conversations, so that it prevents second time offenses that could be even more deadly, like we've seen here in this situation. So that was the show for today, you all. That was so sad. Barf, I only drink whiskey if I have a cold. I just don't see why anyone needs an assault rifle for recreation. Want recreation? Read a fucking coloring book. Okay. Hey, a view. Good morning. Good morning. Thumbs up and share. Oh, thank you, a view. Good morning. I have to watch the beginning of the show. Thank you, Sticks girl. My Lord, Little Caesar shoot and Roman. When they go low, you go high. Our first lady told us that. Listen, okay. There'll be some moments where I'm gonna need to pass on that, okay? Because you sticking a blade in my car, and my little son was sitting right there. I don't know if I can go. I don't know if I can go low. I don't know if I can go. I couldn't even go medium. I would have to knock his ass the fuck out. Like, I would have to. Nah, bruh. No. Because you could have cut him. They said it cut the back of his phone. His phone was recording and he sliced the back of the phone. You mean to tell me he was that close into my car? I'd have rolled that window up on his motherfucking arm so quick. I would have did all kind of shit. I just know I just be like, what a view. I thought that place was closed. And I would never eat there. Little Caesars, we have one in Little Hick. I can't do any place where they talk about 5-minute pizza. That's like in Florida, they got something called CC's Pizza. It's cute. Yeah, she is a hero. Thank you, B1. Good vibes. All right, you all. Good day. Thank you, Mr. Ring. Thank you for popping through. Great show as usual. Thank you, Brick Girl. Have a great day. Little Caesar is popular in Canada. I worked there as a kid. Believe me, it's gross. Thank you. Have a great one. You too. Thanks again for great content. Thank you, Spicy T. Thank you all for being here. Great show as usual. Thank you all, and have a great day. Listen, please choose positivity before you choose violence. And if you have to choose violence, be very strategic in it. Please believe that you can be strategic in being a violent individual. And on that note, I'm out. Friday, we'll be back with hot topics and local news. And then I think this weekend, I don't know. I want to do a night out with the prison-based story. So I'm going to have to hit Tayshawn up to see when he's going to be free. But I want to do that on the weekend. And then next week, I'm trying to have like a boys panel me and some other guys, and we're gonna just hit on some topics. I'm just gonna flash some shit on the screen. We're gonna hit on some topics. So be prepared. I'm just trying to mix it up, give you all some other stuff to look at over here. So thank you all for the support. Please hit the like button on your way out. Share the video and subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber. And thank you all so much for being here. Deuces. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for being here this morning.
Let's go, let's go. Oh, let's start this show. King Roman News gonna come right through. Gonna give you that news just like you know he can do. Hot topics in your face, baby. King Roman knows his place, baby. King Roman News.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
6:30 a.m. Eastern time, baby. He's gonna come right on time with the news just for you. Celebrity news, politics, and local news just for you. King Roman News. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Let's go, let's go. Hey, let's start this show. King Roman News, coming just for you.